Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And if you're on Apple Podcasts, please give us a 5-star review so we can continue to give you the ish that we talk. And now that is out the way, I will not act like I'm on AM fucking radio. What the fuck's the deal, all of you ugly motherfuckers? What's poppin'? I'm here with you. We here together. We gonna make this shit pop. Lindsay, what the fuck is going on? My dog.
Like, what will be a breaking point for you where you just like, you know what, I'm out?
All right. Yeah, so I was about to say this is where we asked the audience.
Yeah.
So
you already
said cheating, right?
Yeah. Cheating.
Okay.
So
Anybody
you're
else?
not giving a pass or nothing like that.
There ain't no way.
That's no way.
Do it once and do it twice. There ain't no way. You lose the result.
So it's like if it's just cheating for her, like, so is it cheating for you the same way too? Yeah. So like if you cheat, do you feel like I need to leave this relationship?
If I would ever cheat, I would leave you first.
Oh, you such a gentleman.
I do what I do.
You such a gentleman. That shit don't happen in real life, but you such a gentleman.
Oh.
Anything else?
In the moment.
In the moment.
That's different. I wouldn't be in the moment.
So you wouldn't put yourself in the moment. I got you.
Yeah. Like, make it make sense. Like, cause what's the moment?
When I decide it's the moment, it's the moment.
Oh, okay.
If I never say to myself, like, I should probably get out of here.
So like, do the whole time you just like, oh no, this cool. This ain't. We just chilling. She just wanna rub my back. That's cool. Ain't nobody tripping. It's like, oh, okay. I mean, okay. Oh, all right. You ain't gotta kiss my neck. That's okay. Cool. This is not the moment yet.
Not yet.
It's not the moment yet.
I didn't do it.
So it's like, now my pants is down. This is.
If she pulls them down.
Oh, this ain't the moment. This ain't the moment. This ain't the moment.
She did it.
This ain't the moment. So when is the moment? When you're done, you're like, oh. Yeah, this is the moment.
Just said, bro. I'm like, oh. I was supposed to go to the store. I was gone for 2 hours.
I had to go get my bro,
that's
right?
The moment, yep.
That's the moment.
That's the moment.
Okay, so that's your.
What you
So this is cheating for you. Like, if she cheats, oh hell no. But like, I just had to wait on the moment. Like, no. That's like the moment. That wasn't the moment. No, she sucked my d- I didn't ask for it.
I don't say the words.
It's like, no, I didn't know. When I feel something wrong, baby, I'm gonna just tell you the truth. When she was like, I was like, maybe it's time for me. Ain't no restaurateur gonna run up on Keith Lee. Let's just end that shit right there. Y'all talk a lot of shit, but y'all not about to run up on. Ain't nobody about to run up on him, slap no food out his face, and tell him, bitch, what? Like, that's just not gonna happen in no way, shape, possible.
So Saucy Santana got in on it. He pretty much was like, tag me in. And he snapped on DJ Academics and told him to pull up. He was like, go to my page. We got all kinds of bookings. We outside. Come pull up at one of the bookings, and I'll beat your motherfucking ass.
Saucy Santana just doesn't look like the homosexual man that you gonna hit, and he looked like that dude off of Low Down Dirty Shame. He ain't about to grab his face and be like, "Oh, Bernard,
him, you slut." But no,
he about to beat the dog shit out of you.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And I'm laughing because it's gonna be so funny because you're gonna see a dude massively beating the shit out of a man with an open fist, and you gonna hear bitch.
What's the deal? What's the deal? That intro always sets us back because it's an amazing intro of the times that we have phenomenally dropped bombs on y'all for the ish we talk. But
Yeah.
again, we got to start this again. So I will introduce myself as the host of this show. I am Lily. Y'all know me well. If you are a avid watcher, then you know what I do. So I don't have to tell you, but I'm gonna do it. I am with maybe besides my mom and Jasmine's mom and Jasmine, I'm probably with the fourth greatest woman I know. A lady who could very well run this country with the open-mindedness and the genius that she holds inside of her. This uh, woman who has traveled the world, got an education, excuse me, got a great education and has a tremendous family that loves her to death. Every now and then decides to sit down and talk to her degenerate cousin. And I can't give nothing but give the utmost respect for her. So everybody give a round of applause for the lady who pushes the bells and the whistles, the lady who made sure that y'all knew me. The HBIC, Lindsay.
Hello. Hello, everyone. Thanks for that great intro.
You know I'm gonna try it every time. You know I'm gonna
Yeah,
try it
I
every
sound so awesome.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it every time. Again, this is the Ish That We Talk. We got the pleasantries out the way with the intro, but I always gotta give a dope shout out to Twitch. I'm gonna tell y'all how real y'all are. I got a new student this week, and that was the first thing he said to me. Was like, I know I'm gonna like you, and I was like, for what? And he was like, cause you look like T Grizzly, and I was like, bad, bad. Say less, young man. Let's, you know what I'm saying? Let's build a dope ass relationship, young man. Let's do this.
Right.
So shout out to Twitch for reminding the world that that's what I look like.
That is hilarious. Freaking hilarious. But yeah, I bet you guys thought that we kind of got into it and was like, fuck this shit, fuck this podcast. We out. It's been a minute.
We ain't eating.
Right.
What that nigga say on lottery ticket? You got the power to change this shit.
Right. Right. Oh man, probably thought we had a whole rooftop argument.
Man.
But no, shit happens. You know,
right.
Summer is here. Folks be out of town.
Man, my son turned 1. We had to celebrate. We had to turn up the weekend. Nephew, little cuz, he had a birthday as well.
Yeah. Yeah, so a lot of people that was born in July and August. Yeah. And shout out to my niece, because her birthday's today.
Shout out. Her birthday is today. I seen that notification.
Yeah. I called her on FaceTime at like 12:15. Girl was lit. I was like, well, as long as you make it home safe. That's all I care about. As long as you make it home safe. But yeah. Yep. Oh, the days to be in your 20s again.
You know.
I don't even remember my 26th birthday. What did I do?
You know.
Yeah.
I'm so
maybe Dave Buster's. I don't know. Yeah.
I'm so elated that I never celebrated birthdays, so I don't know. What I'm saying. I never experienced like the birthday flow, but I just know what it is to be in your 20s, and I remember those times, and what a time to be alive.
Man, I think we were in our 20s like at the best part. because like social media was new, you know, like it wasn't what we know of it as today, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it was new. So you can still be low key without all your business being put out and all that kind of stuff. So I think we were good. You know, camera phones weren't what they are today,
Right.
you know. So you can act the ass in public and nobody has the evidence. So yeah. So yeah. Yeah, it's a whole different beast
Social
nowadays.
media could have actually. Social media back then could have actually been therapy.
Mm-hmm.
Nowadays, it's a bunch of ratchet shit. But back
Yeah.
then, you could put some shit out there and it could have been therapy. Some, you know what I'm saying? Niggas would give you dope ass resources and all that instead of trying to be in your business. It was a
Right.
different time.
Yeah, that I do agree with. That I do agree with. Yeah. And then on top of that, you know, with people with them elephant brains, they still bring up shit you did about 15 years ago on the internet.
Yeah, yeah.
You know?
I'm
But
one
it's
of them
not,
niggas.
yeah. But it's not in a shade way. It's just like in a funny way, you know?
Yeah. I just want to remind you,
You're right.
you know, when you was
So,
pushing interracial dating and the bitch took everything you had. Like, I just want to remind you, you was
right.
the one telling niggas to jump on the snow bunny trail. Now
Right.
you hate white bitches. So let's
Right. How'd that work out for you?
let's clear this. Let's clear the air, sir.
Right. So, but yeah. Yeah, that one day when we become famous, we're definitely gonna have to clear some things out from back
Oh
then.
yeah. Oh look, man, I'm gonna have to clear so much shit up, dude. Especially my years of depression, like after Diana.
Mm,
Woo.
yeah.
The therapy I was, boy, listen, I bet you niggas gonna be like, boy, you still a soft ass nigga like that? I am not. I am not, sir. I was going through
Right.
a time in my life, man. You know, I was at that time, I can admit I was a tender dick nigga.
Man. I know some of the stuff I used to put on there. They gonna be like, "Boy, you and your mama cool still?" Like,
Right.
you
Boy,
know?
listen, and I don't give a fuck. I'm willing to answer all y'all questions. What I'm not gonna accept is that
Mhm.
you're not gonna accept the growth.
Facts. You know. So, like, you're gonna have to see the full picture.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, yeah, it was funny, and yeah, I was going off, but look at the full picture. Why was I going off? You know what I'm saying? Look at what was going on. Like, I wasn't saying this stuff just because today was Saturday.
Exactly.
So, yeah. That's all we ask. You know, keep an open mind when you come to us with them questions.
If not, it's gonna be the same. It's gonna be real raw. If you're gonna try to go viral, if I get famous by doing something to me, it's gonna be really different for you.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's gonna be really different. And I'm not a Charleston white nigga, so you ain't getting maced.
Okay. Right. You're gonna go home with a souvenir.
Mm-hmm. On my mama.
Man. But yeah. So that has nothing to do with what we are here to talk about.
Exactly not. It's the less we pull. It started from birthdays, and then we got real
right.
We got real thorough when it comes to these internet woes that we go through.
Okay. So yeah. So let's get into the topics. Let's just start with something like that I just threw at you during the intro. Just found out that Blueface got 3 years and Chris Shine is facing 8 years. So I know like I know we've been gone for a minute, so some of this stuff may be a tad bit aged. But since we have talked about them,
I want to hear it.
Right. But since we have talked about them several times on this show, this is an update. So what do you think about the way that they're going? Like, could we have predicted this?
Of course we could have predicted this.
Yeah.
I mean, it's There's no way around it when it comes to Blueface. I just, the things I've been hearing while he's been in prison, I just hope that Blueface is just going through the woes you have to go through when you being locked up, and just the company that you keep, and not that he's an addict. He's been saying that they have found meth in his room and all sorts of crazy shit.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so I hope it's just jail politics and not something extra. I really hope that him knowing that now he's got 3 years, that it really just rehabilitates him. And I ain't saying really rehabilitate like he got to come out as a different nigga. He just got to know where his priorities is.
Mm-hmm.
I hope Blueface understand that, because we gotta. At one point, we really do have to understand that some of our talented people have the most talented flaws as well, and so they have to fix that shit internally. So I just hope these 3 years of being sit down that he can actually fine tune and try to fix that shit internally. With Krishan, same rules apply. If you get that 8, you'll probably get out and 3.5, maybe 4. And then have the rest of the time on parole or whatever you do. I hope the same thing applies to you, lady. Like, listen, I drink, and I ain't gonna tell a nigga they can't drink, but you are a full-fledged working alcoholic, lady, and I need you to understand that you are a mother now. When it's all said and done, you could still be Krishan Rock, but Krishan Rock has to know how to turn it off, because now it's time for me to be a mother. And I hope that if you don't get any time, I hope even what I said just really reflects on what you need to do. We have watched you go ham for so many years. We have watched you downplay your own illness to the point where everybody just thinks you're a fucking schizophrenic now. I don't think so. I just think you're a real uncontrollable drunk. And I want you to handle that shit.
Yeah. In the couple of months prior to her being arrested, it did look like she was calming down and focusing, because I want to say she was gonna start being a football player, and she had started training and all that kind of stuff. So it looked like she was starting to go down the right path. It's just unfortunate that we didn't see what could have been prior to her arrest. But hopefully this time that she's spending behind bars will be enough to get her on the straight and narrow by the time that she finally gets out, because it's not just her anymore.
So baby, and then I'm gonna keep it totally 100, and y'all can take this however way y'all want to take this. But I'm gonna say this right to the internet world. Krishan Rock, I hope, I really do, and it's gonna sound crazy, but I hope, if you do get locked up, it's a stud in there that'll eat your pussy so good that you stop and forget about this nigga Blueface for a minute, nigga, because god damn, you crash and burn every time. Every fucking time. I get it. I know I got aunties that love my uncles that they don't fuck with, ain't fuck with for years, but still, if they pull up, they'll jump out their seat and make that nigga a plate like he has always been there. I see it. I know it. I understand. But you gotta get something in your life to make you forget about this nigga. Please.
Yeah. Yeah.
Please. Jesus, like, I don't know what type of riz this nigga got, but this nigga's riz is times 1,000. She will. I'm talking about, man. This woman has lost a tooth for this nigga. She has tatted it, and she been doing it. And Dick ain't gonna do it because it's been proven that she still be fucking. Dick don't do it. I am calling out whoever's gonna be locked up with her. Take the stud challenge and just take Blueface out of her mind. shit. God damn.
Yeah. I wouldn't have gone that far, but I understand your point.
For real. You
Yeah,
gotta
because
focus
that
on
is
one.
bad.
You got a son that don't blink, bitch. Like what? Stop. And I'm being 100. And
Yeah.
you take it as funny, but it's the truth.
Yeah.
You got a son that just sits there all day like this. Focus on that. Focus on that right now. Please.
Lord. I just hope that the baby's okay. Wherever the baby is now. I just hope the baby.
I hope he's okay, and I hope he's getting the most ultimate love and affection and comfort. Just because I know what it is to be around individuals that had mamas like Krishan.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a lot of those type of young ladies and young men, I actually do take care of him and my daytime job. So I want it to be different.
Yeah. Right. I definitely want it to be different as well. I want the baby to be okay, and I want them to come out better people. I do. Both of them. I want them definitely to come out better people.
Exactly, for the kids. Blueface kids, Rashawn's kid, for the kids, man. Y'all got to be better people.
Yeah. 100. This might be a positive thing for them. That maybe they did need this time out because they weren't going to take it on their own. You
gotta take a scripture out the old people's books. Sometimes jail is like college. I remember my grandmother used to always saying, one of my aunties used to say the shit too. When my great auntie, she used to be like, "Oh nah, they just went back to school," and we was like, "All right, whatever." And I found out when they say that shit, that mean them niggas went back to jail.
Yeah, that is what they used to say. Like old school people would say they went to college or they went away, they went on vacation, everything, but that nigga in jail again. So
yeah, my grandma was quick to be like, "Oh nah, he just went back to school,"
Yeah. So, but yeah, so that's them. So moving on. Yeah, so with the election, since we've been gone, Trump has picked a vice president, JD Vance, and Biden stepped down, and Harris is now the Democratic candidate, and she has also picked a vice president as well to run with her, which is Tim Walz. Tim Walz is the Minnesota governor, and I forgot where JD Vance is from. He says so much ignorant shit that you forget his credentials. So we have the Republican ticket and we have the Democratic ticket. I feel like the Republican ticket is shaking in their boots now. They are really shaking in their boots right now. And on top of that, they're probably wondering, like, why the hell did Trump pick Vance? Because Vance has said stuff to where Trump was like, whoa, and he's had to do PR work when it's usually the reverse. So, not only that, Trump has done a couple of things where he's just like looked horrible, even for him. One of the things was when he went to the Black Journalist Convention and spoke there, or had a interview there, and said some crazy shit or whatever, but and was being very rude.
I thought the shit was amazing.
So why did you think that was amazing?
I thought it was amazing. First and foremost, because Trump went to a place that he first had no motherfucking business being in. None. None. And the fact that Trump stayed Trump with lying and just trying to diminish interviewers or the people around him. I just was like, yeah, this is exactly what we're supposed to be seeing, because this is exactly who you asked for. This is who could potentially be your president, letting you know right then and there, I give not a fuck about what you're talking about. I am going to only talk about what the fuck I feel like and what I'm going to do.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's it. I don't I don't give a fuck about your questions or what you're saying to me. I am going to just strictly be on some, I don't give a fuck, y'all. And that's basically what it was. And so I thought it was amazing, because I'm like, the fact that they did that and didn't expect him to do this was wild. And I'm not saying it was the journalist that was doing that, but for the way I was listening to the audience, I'm like, what else did y'all expect?
I didn't take the audience as what did y'all expect, like they were shocked. I took the audience as audience reaction, especially a room full of Black people. It was like watching, like, you know how you go to a movie in a Black neighborhood and you're gonna get all the ad libs. That's what I took it as. Like, I didn't take it as like I'm appalled that he would say such a thing. Like, I took it as this motherfucker's ill. Like, you know. So
it for me, it was just like, it was like if you ever been to a comedy show and then a dark comic says a joke and then you got this weird white lady in the back that wants to say something. Like, and he like, calm down, bitch. I'm getting paid for this anyway. This is what I took from this shit.
Yeah.
That's how I took it. I was like, what the fuck?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I can see why you would take it that way, but yeah, I didn't take it that way. Because I mean, when you at home, even though you're used to him saying some off the wall shit, when he does say the off the wall shit, you're gonna have a reaction. So it was just a bunch of people having a reaction to his off the wall shit.
Yeah. I mean, and that's just, that's just the flaw in us as Americans. We react instead of actually just listening. If we actually just listen to people, we would be in a whole better place than we are right now.
Yeah, agreed. If we all was like on the same page, I ain't even asking for us to be on the same paragraph. I just want us to be on the same page. Mm-hmm. We're not on the same page as a collective, and that is an issue. You know what I'm saying? That is a real big issue,
man.
And I'm not saying that we need to be monoliths or whatever, but we just need to be on the same page on some shit, you know?
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, so what do you think about Tim Walz?
You know what? I'm gonna take a page out of Trump's book, because Trump was absolutely right when he said this in this interview. Ain't nobody voting for Walz. Like he said, nobody votes for the vice president; they vote for the president. Mm-hmm. Nobody really cares. Either you like the president or you like the president-electee or you don't. Mm-hmm. You know, it ain't even about Walz. It's about if motherfuckers really fucking with Kamala. So I don't give a fuck about Walz, because I know he's gonna do the same shit Kamala did if he gets up there, not do a motherfucking thing as a vice president that not that we hear about. So I don't have nothing to say about it. This is one election from when I start voting that I know off the flip that I'm not voting for it. It is not because I don't like Trump, and it's not because I've never seen Kamala do anything. It's the fact that the more and more I've been watching this, the more and more I realize why would I vote for my slave owner? Because nothing has fucking changed for me. Out of all of this shit, since Obama's been in office, I haven't seen anything change as far as my end. And I might be low tier, and that's fine, but all y'all pander to low tier, and I still haven't seen anything from it. So why would I continually vote for my slave master to still give me the same shit I've been getting? And this is to, and when I say this to every Black person in America. Until we really start organizing, we don't always have to be right on everything. We don't always have to be agreeable to everything, but we have to agree to compromise, and we have to push to a unit where we're so much of a collective. We push something that will that is going to be able to push a presidency forth. We don't see that. We don't have that. They laughed at Ice Cube for doing it, and I know why. Because why would you do it, Ray? As much as you've been militant, you should have tried to do this thing a long time ago because of the power you have. So I get when people do get ridiculed for certain shit, but I'm talking to the nigga like me to get up and work every day. Until y'all figure out that type of collective and powerhouse, we'll never control who our slave owner is, who is basically not even a slave owner. He is just a poster board for the people who actually run things, and that's the Senate. So until we start getting balls moving like that, why the fuck do y'all keep doing this? If every Black person decided not to vote in the next 4 years, things would be vastly different, because then that means it'll be more independent and more and other people and grassroots individuals that come out and try to only make sure that things are taken care of for the Black population that is in the United States. It is so crazy that Asians get a laws, LGBTQs get a law, everything gets sanctioned. We don't get shit. We don't get nothing, and we got to realize we got to stop falling for that type shit. And that was my TED talk, and I'm done with it.
So let me ask you this: with you taking this stance on the election as a whole, is this stance specifically for the presidential election, or is it for politics in general?
It's strictly for the presidential election for me.
Okay.
Because I understand that in order to get the ball rolling, you got to get your city fucking with you. You got to get your area active. If you don't get your area active, it's nothing that the president gonna do for you. Period.
Okay. So, are you taking this stance of not voting?
Oh yeah. For this election, yes, 100%.
Yeah. So, what would need to change for you to be like, all right, let me go out here and vote?
This
what
election,
would you need to see?
I don't need to see anything. I don't need to see anything in this election, for the simple fact of we have been down this road too many times. We know what it is. We know at the end of the day, America is only great to everybody else but us. And that's because we don't have any power. So until we make that happen, we are always going to be subject to bullshit like this. So why do you keep putting yourself through this? At the end of the day, you just like, okay, We know we live in a white man's world, and I'm not gonna pander to nobody, and I hope don't nobody think I'm a racist or anything when I say this, but we know we live in a white man's world. These are the man of man, quote, man of man. This is what they are. So we can't deny that shit because they run this shit. So in order to be on something else, we're gonna have to unify in order to even be able to hold a candle to that shit. We are not going to be able to hold a candle to that shit. We can protest. We can do 100 things. We can rah. We can skip. And point has been proven. They will do a little just so everybody will just fall back, and then they'll do a lot for everybody to fuck else. It is so funny that I always say this, and I want y'all to understand with everybody else when I'm talking about Asians. And when I say Asians, I mean all Asians, even the Asian hate law to my Asians that people call Arabs and Indians and all that. Like it is certain things that they're getting. It is certain things that so many people outside of us that are getting from the government. I got one dude that I work with. I've been working with him for 7 years, and he told me, he said, when the first time I got to America, I thought black people was ungrateful because they gave me so much money. That man said when he first got here, they gave him a food stamp card with $3,500 on it, and they gave him a $9,000 voucher on top of paying for his school. So we thought black people were ungrateful. He didn't know we don't get shit.
Yeah.
So this is what I'm saying. If we don't get nothing from this government, from big government, we don't get a goddamn thing. So why do we act like we're important when it comes to big government? We're not gonna make a change. Kamila, I'm never gonna downplay her blackness, but I will also say this is the same woman that said, I'm not gonna just do for black people. And she says she's the first Asian instead of the first black. So you know where she lies. Now, again, when I say that, I'm not downplaying her blackness. I'm just saying, even with her blackness, she chooses the other instead of the brother. When it comes down to big time shit, it's cool for you to be an AKA, and it's cool for you to tell people you know how to make collard greens, but it wasn't cool for you to sign a bill for Sandra Bland and all, you know what I'm saying, and everything else, but it was cool for you to sign an Asian bill. I just want this shit to be clear to people. Again, whatever you decide to do is what you decide to do. But I'm going to say this, voting this election is just adding another slave master, and that is just what it is.
So why do you go as far as saying the slave master? What's the ideology behind calling it that?
The ideology in that is because in plantations you had a slave master, but 9 times out of 10, especially if he was big time farming, he had a boss as well. He had people that, you know what I'm saying, was controlling him as well. It's the same thing that the government has. The president is basically just the nigga who listens to everybody else and who's the fucking face. You are just voting for the face. This is all I'm saying to y'all. It's still going to be run by whatever corporation. You know, they had books on how to control a Negro. You think they didn't have coalitions of niggas that was doing it in a section, and it was always a boss, and it wasn't the niggas that you called slave masters.
Okay. So you're saying that the president is ran by a bigger corporation?
Whoever paid for that presidency is the ones that are controlling that. When it comes with everything from big pharma to whatever.
Mm-hmm.
That's just what it is. And if nobody knows that, I always tell people, and this ain't me on no conspiracy theory. It's just look it the fuck up. Just look it up. Yeah. You know, this ain't me lying to y'all. Just look that shit up.
Mm-hmm. So you sound like you're just pretty much disgusted at the whole presidential process. Period.
I truly am, and the only reason why I truly am is because I'm watching my people feud against each other on this, and we're so divided that we're really fighting over who's going to be the best slave master this year. And it's like when I watch my black women, I watch them be divided. Whereas some black women that I know fuck with Trump, and then there's some black women to be like, "Fuck you, bitch. I'm going with Kamala," and they don't even know what I'm saying, anything about Kamala. They just doing it because she a black woman, and that's weird. You got to find out about it. I got a lady that I work with said, I don't know nothing about her. You know, I don't do politics, but she a woman, so I'm voting. I'm like, that's crazy. Especially because she's one of the reasons why your sons and your husband go to jail all the time. Like, that's wild. And that's again, when I say certain things like that, I just be stating facts. I'm not putting my opinion out there. I'm just stating things that, was happening under her watch when she wasn't even vice president. You got to know who you're voting for if you're going to vote. And then when you know who you're voting for, understand you're not really voting for them. You're voting for the conglomerate that is over them. This is what you have to realize.
Mm-hmm.
So in order to topple that over, how about we start coming together and putting our own money, starting slow until city government, state government, and then look for a presidency where this person who we are electing and paying for is actually going to take care of black folks. Start doing that because everybody else is.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody else is. You don't think it's, y'all going to think I sound like Kanye, but you don't think it's Jewish backers that make sure certain people get in certain spots? You don't think it's LGBTQ people making sure that people get into certain spots? You don't think it's Asians making sure people get into certain spots? I'm gonna blow your mind when I say this. You don't think it's Africans that are paying for people to be in certain spots? If you don't, you out your motherfucking mind, and that shit is happening right under you. But y'all too busy only want to vote for somebody because you're like, oh well, he knows business. No, he fuck don't. Or she's black. Well, I don't know. Ask her.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah, you definitely have a stance.
Yeah, I do.
And I remember that we have talked about this in the past, that you saying that you're not gonna vote. I just like I understand and I respect your opinion, obviously, but I just can't get behind the whole not voting. You know, especially in America, especially given our history in America with voting. You know, it's just too many people that lost their lives for Black people to vote in America. That
so okay, and I'm glad you said that because I'm gonna say this.
Mm-hmm.
We've watched so many, or not watched because we wasn't there. But it is so many that died and pushed this so much. Why would you continue to basically soil them by continuing to vote for an oppressor?
Well, nobody said that you had to vote for the oppressor.
Again,
it's not just those two people that are on the ticket, and then you can also write in, but just the fact that you just saying I'm not gonna do it when people died for your right to do it. People died for your right to go there and write in Mickey Mouse if you wanted to. You know what I'm saying?
They would turn over in their grave if the ones they were pushing was not doing what they thought voting was for. They would tell you don't do it.
I can't get behind that thought that they would tell you not to do it.
I will, because just like Martin Luther King, when he realized the agenda that he was pushing wasn't for black people, he said, I think I made a grave mistake when it comes to my people.
Mm-hmm.
So you gotta think about that. A lot of people push because they think they right, and then when they find out they align with the wrong people, they gotta turn it back down.
Yeah,
You know,
And nobody's saying that you can't change your mind. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, just the fact that, just on the fact and the strength that people fought for us to do just that. That's the least that we can do is go vote. You know what I'm saying?
We can honor them by voting for what's important, not the presidency. Vote for what's
Okay,
important.
well, just go vote. There's more, and that's another thing. There's more than just the president that you are voting for when you go vote, and there's more than just those two people that we constantly hear about that are running for president. You can vote for everything else and not vote for the president. If that's the case, just go vote. And then you talk about earlier when you were talking about how you would rather just vote for local stuff and not vote for the president. Well, that means that you still got to go vote, because again, there's more than just the president that is on the ballot.
Okay. Again, I can totally see where you're going from, and in that case, you're totally right. But what I was saying was, if you're going to vote, period, you vote for local. That is, if you're going to vote. This year, like I said, I'm not going to vote for anything. You know what I'm saying? In every general case, I am not going to vote for anything, because for me, I see where it's going. I see at one end, I have someone that was vaguely silent that I didn't hear about until it was cool to pass that Asian bill, and then on the other end, I have a felon, and then under that, you have other people that nobody gives a fuck about, and they're not going to win because they don't have the quote unquote popular vote. So who we're listening to is just the people that everybody is going to be willing to vote for, period. And then you have amendments and things under that. At the same time, you have these. All of these are only going to get moved by whoever conglomerate wins. So still voting for it is the same thing. I'm gonna sound really godly, and I'm not a godly person, but at the same time, I'm gonna say this: if you do that, you are still voting for whoever Satan you want it to be at this point. I do not believe, and this is just my opinion, I do not believe that this election is going to do anything for Black people good. I do believe that it's going to do a lot of bad for us. I do believe, and this is and again, I'm never taken away from Kamila's Black, but I can guarantee you, she is not going to do anything for us to the point where it's going to harm us. And that's and when I say that, I really want y'all to get that. I'm saying that she's not going to do anything for us to the point it's going to harm us. She's not intentionally going to do it, but it's going to happen. Trump, you already know what the fuck that shit's going to be about. Don't even have to sugarcoat that to be on nothing. That nigga's going to be right out there, man. I watched this man live on TV say, that's my African American right there. That nigga was so close to saying nigga, I could taste it. He don't give a. He's gonna fuck us up completely. And you know why he's gonna fuck us up? Because you got niggas that fall into his mentality that all they think about is a dollar, and they forget that the only way you can make this dollar is if you continue to fuck with the people.
Yeah.
So it's either way it goes, it's gonna be a shit show.
Well, that is an opinion that you have stated more than once, so I definitely know that is a genuine opinion.
I can't I'm down this horse. I'm a nigga that dies on horses.
Yeah. So Ashton Sanders is watching, and they say, I respect it because you definitely making sense.
I mean, yeah, and that's again, this is just my opinion. I'm not gonna throw rocks at people at voting at voting spots and shit and mad tomatoes. I'm not one of those dudes. I'm just saying, just think about it one time.
Yeah. Right. You're not one of those dudes, but if you ask me, I'm gonna give you my thoughts.
I'm gonna give you my thoughts. I'm just not. I ain't gonna be one of them. I ain't running up on you throwing eggs at you like you stupid bitch.
Right. Yeah. And everybody is entitled to their own opinion, about it and whatnot. It's definitely not something that's never been said before. So
yeah.
But yeah, so now on to a lighter part of this whole election coverage. JD Vance did an interview talking about people that don't have kids basically shouldn't be able to have an opinion on things because they don't have basically they don't have no stake in the game for the future.
Wow.
Yeah.
Mm.
Now this is going to sound I don't know how this is going to sound. It's not going to sound like something that you would think you would hear from me, I guess.
I already know where you're going. I do. I really do. I'm going to let you say it.
But I got what he was trying to say. It was executed horribly. Yeah. And people, more specifically women without kids, there are so many reasons why women would be without kids. To say something like that was just like ridiculous. And it's just like, damn, how are you even in politics saying shit like that? But I do get what he was trying to say.
Mm-hmm.
Not saying that I agree, but I understand. So, but it was just like when you say stuff like stuff like that shouldn't be said in an interview, even if that's your honest to God opinion. But it's just okay. So the part that everybody would think that you would hear from me is this: I don't have any kids, so for the past 20 years that I have been an adult, I get this all the time about why I don't have kids, So, and you get it from people who are closest to you, and then you get it from people who you just met. And like I just said before, there are so many reasons why a woman does not have kids. And that is such a disrespectful thing to say to a woman. You don't ask people like that, but people do, and people think that it's an okay conversation. Like, you don't know what kind of trauma is brought up every time that you mention, well, why you don't have kids. Not saying that I have trauma behind it, but you don't know what I got. So for people to ask that type of question, it's very disrespectful. But in today's society, it's acceptable to ask a woman why they don't have kids, and it's been acceptable for 10 years.
Yeah.
So
I'm not gonna. It's 100%. You 100% correct. People always ask a woman, why she don't have kids, or look at her strange, like she should have kids.
Mm-hmm. Or tell you need to start having kids.
Yeah. Truth be told, for me, I'm one of those people that will honestly say, don't nobody fucking care. Like, you know, as just recently having a kid, I realized that I don't need to be focused on people that don't have fucking kids. Like, that's not my business. If you don't have kids, you don't have kids. It is what it is. You know, when I for these years of not having children, I made sure that my opinion about how people raise their kids was not my opinion at all. I can't tell you how to raise your kids. I can tell you don't beat the shit out of them. And that's about it. And that's only because I was a child of abuse. So I can only tell you my childhood trauma. Other than that, however way you raise your kid is how you raise your kids. So for him to say no one has they shouldn't have an opinion. I mean, I get it. I'm with you. It should have been worded very, very differently. For me, it would have been one of those things where I would have been like, hey, whatever you decide to do when on a political scale, if it doesn't concern you about pregnancy or schools or things of that nature, feel free to just not even circle the bitch.
Yeah,
that's it. Just feel free not to do it. Don't check yes or no. Don't just skip it.
Yeah.
You know, just skip if you're not concerned with it, or if it doesn't affect you, just skip it. Or if you're one of them people that don't have kids but want a better future for us, try to find the best way you can.
Yeah.
I'm not, I can't tell you what you can and can't do. I'm just saying you're free to make these choices.
Right. And then just because somebody doesn't have kids, it doesn't mean that they don't have a stake in the game for how the future is painted. You know what I mean? So, because that's what he was pretty much trying to say. Like, you don't pretty much have a stake in the game if you don't have kids, because I guess children are the future. So teach them well and let them lead the way.
Show them all the beauty they possess inside.
Right. Give them a strength. Right.
And pride. To make it easy.
Right. Let the children laugh.
Remind us how we used to be.
Right.
I get that, but at the same time, you have to realize that knowing that the children are our future, you don't want a bunch of piece of shits running the future when you're 60, 70 years old. You need somebody to take care of you.
Okay.
After a while, I'm like, we kind of do have. You want that young CNA to be like, "Hey, you need to take your pills, Mr. Hughes." I probably am forgetting at this time.
Right. Like, oh, yeah. But yeah, like, we kind of do have a stake in the game. You don't necessarily have to have kids. I can live to be 120 years old. I kind of want some people that know what the hell they doing to take care of me.
You definitely want that young nigga on your Instacart to make sure you get your fucking depends. Like, well, I don't know what y'all thinking it is.
Right.
The truth have to be the truth. You don't want to be like, man, fuck that old nigga, and just
right. He buy pull-ups. They like
get you some always wings and shit. You're like, what the fuck did I do with this? You definitely want him to give a fuck, man.
Right. He like, shit, the pull-ups the same difference. Here you go.
Man.
I'm out. All right. So yeah. I feel like we do have a stake in the game, regardless on if we have kids or not. But I understood his thought process. He's just so ignorant and arrogant that he didn't give a fuck how he said that shit.
Well, that's the thing. It's so it's so reminiscent of
Trick Turner. Hold on. Trick Turner is watching. He said, "Got you with Spider-Man."
Right. Exactly. You 85 years old with this shit on your
Talking about
That's some bullshit right there. Your old ass like, what can I do? You could have voted, you non-children having motherfucker. Right. I get it. Like in that sense, I get what you're talking about.
Right.
I'm not I'm not one of them people that's so closed-minded.
Right.
In no sense, I get what you're talking about.
Right. All right, let me go ahead and vote now because I ain't got time.
And yeah, boy, listen. I'm gonna be mad as a motherfucker, nigga. First and foremost, my dick ain't fitting in a pull-up. Like, you got me fucked up. And then by the time I'm 80, my balls is about to be as big as my dick. That's crazy. I'm not about to walk around like that. You got me in a fucking G-string diaper. Because you don't give a fuck about old people. Fuck being old, nigga. Live young till you die. All that shit sounds cool until you after fucking 35.
Right. Oh man. Then you got to really start thinking like, damn. Let me get the plan in this future. Shoot, let me get this insurance together because I need to be in top of the line care.
Man, all you young people that's listening to me, I'm gonna tell you the same thing that every person that has reached my age told me. They said, hey, you're gonna have the best time of your life, man. I don't care what age it is, but one day you're gonna wake up and something gonna be hurting on you, and that shit gonna be all day. Welcome to being older. He straight up told me that shit.
Right.
And one day, no bullshit, I think I was probably about 39 or 38 years old. I woke up with a pain in my arm, and that shit lasted all day. And I said, damn, I'm old as a motherfucker.
Right. There's no rhyme or reason to the pain. Like, I got a pain that I've been dealing with for a couple of weeks that if I sit down for a few hours and get up, the back of my heel hurts. Why?
Some bullshit.
Why?
Why are you? Bullshit.
Yeah. So Trick Turner says, in them pull-ups listening to Forever Young crying.
That's a diabolical scene right there.
Right. I wanna be forever young.
You ain't got no shirt on and shit.
Right.
And then motherfuckers trying to figure it out.
Okay. Man, having to put 2 pull-ups on and shit because they only fit one leg at a time.
Man, come on, man. You've seen these street trunks. They ain't fitting over not one. I'm gonna have to cut them bitches off and take them bitches back home.
Okay. Be at your workbench trying to figure it out.
That shit is wild. Like, man, them motherfuckers like, shit, I think I need 3 of these bitches. Some bullshit.
Right.
Oh, because that nigga's like, fuck you, old man.
Okay. Oh man. So Trick says, last week I slept so good I woke up, my damn knee popped, and when I stretched, that motherfucker hurt for the next 3 days.
Yeah.
I believe it.
Yep. Welcome to getting older.
Man.
I promise when it happened to me, I was like, damn, I'm like, whoa. I don't know what the fuck is going on with my arm today. And like all day it was just hurting. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm doing everything I need to do. And I'm like, and it hit me. I was like, damn, man, I'm old as a bitch. That's wild. Like,
man, it's crazy. It's crazy how that shit works.
To this day when I do my workouts, like,
right, because like when we were younger, we didn't understand it, you know? But now
you said that shit about your heel. I thought about it like every time I, you know what I'm saying? Because I do I try to make sure that I'm getting my workouts and shit in as of lately. Like when I do the jump rope, like if I do 3 sets, oh man, my shit be one of my right foot. That motherfucker be feeling like nigga, like chill, and I'm like, wow,
right, like you doing too much,
doing
way too much,
like, nigga, like nah, you ain't doing it like you used to,
man. But yeah, so that's That's the politics for this evening.
Politics, man. Hey, you know.
Yeah. It's gonna be pretty interesting. What's gonna go on in the next couple of months. Uh yeah, it's definitely gonna
Yeah.
be interesting. Trick says, do you jump rope with a cigar in your mouth?
Nah, I don't. I ain't that nigga.
Yeah.
That nigga. But I do get that shit in. Like, I had to come
Yeah.
over here, man. I wear niggas out. I be wearing my little young homies out.
In jump rope?
Mm-hmm.
You be doing double dutch?
I don't do double dutch. I just know how to jump rope. That's it. I don't do no tricks.
Mm.
I just, when I do my workouts, when I do my sets, I do 1 minute to 2 minute sets on jump rope where I'm just constantly doing it. I know niggas get that gassed out in 25 seconds, so I be looking at them like, oh, y'all crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. Kind of retired from jumping rope because I don't want to get a black eye. So, yeah.
I don't even know how you can get a black eye from a jump rope. What?
Because you don't have the problem that I have.
Yeah, I don't. And
Yeah.
when you said that, I'm like, oh, okay, that's okay.
Yeah.
Say less.
Yeah.
Now I get it. Yeah,
Yeah.
you don't want your shit cracked.
No. I'm kind of limited on certain things that I used to be able to do. So I have to be strategic with my workouts. Or just don't do them because I don't like working out. So
I love it. Like Jasmine hated it. I
can't
feel
stand
like
it.
she be like, you smell so nasty. I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah. But this is gonna make sure that by the time I am 70, I'm not gonna be moving around slow with my goddamn young ass son.
Yeah. Facts. So Trick says the Parker Boys double Dutch team.
First off, it's the Parker brothers. We would never have a double Dutch team.
That can be the new line. Y'all can be like perfect segue. Y'all can be like the breakdance team and have a whole outfit just for breakdancing.
And this is hip hop. Like what?
Right.
Nah.
All right. So next topic is the Olympics. Okay, so this is the first year they had breaking as an Olympic sport. And I didn't watch the whole thing, but from the bits and pieces I saw, that was the dumbest shit in the world. I was about to say in America, but in the world, because America would never.
If any time I ever rooted for a country to be like, man, fuck nah. I'm so glad that he was like, man, fuck nah.
Right. Who was part? I need names. Who was part of the committee that voted yes? Let's put breaking in the Olympics.
First of all, this whack ass shit. Listen, I don't give a fuck what nobody say. Y'all could say it was great. I've seen people be like, it wasn't that bad. Blah, 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 blah. I'm like, nigga, have y'all ever seen dance groups?
Dude, have y'all seen like legit breakdancing? Like, have you seen the movie Breaking?
Man.
Like, come
nigga,
on.
have you ever seen You Got Served?
Dude, Trick says they were the shame of their nation. They really were.
Yeah, they were.
It was bad. It was bad.
Hey man, when that bitch pulled up in a do-rag, I'm talking, and I'm half asleep watching this. Like, and Dad will tell you, like, I'm so fucking. I've been working like crazy hours doing my job. Like, dude, I literally was trying to watch this, and I'm halfway going to sleep. And I said, this bitch got a do-rag on. I'll watch this shit.
Yeah.
The shit. Listen, everybody in America. Breakdancing is an art and a form that only a rare few people are talented with.
Facts.
The shit that they were doing was what your mama used to tell you to do in front of the company.
Right.
You fuck what?
Right.
Nigga, I seen a man spin on his head for at least 15 to 20 seconds in real time, in real life before. Breakdance. This shit they was doing,
Yeah.
again, was do that dance you used to do last night.
Right. Dude, what boy, girl, non-binary, whatever it was, that couldn't get her hand off of her chin. She put out her hand on her chin through 10 different moves. I was like, if you don't move that motherfucking hand, you're gonna break your neck.
Are you talking about the Chinese chick?
Yeah, I guess. I couldn't tell
because,
what they were.
Yeah, because I said the same thing. I'm like, they keep on saying girl. Like,
Right.
this is clearly a 6 foot tall Asian man. Like, and he was definitely like,
right. That pause at the end, I was like, okay. And then she wasn't done, right? I'm like, girl, go somewhere.
hey, the shit that fucked me up is everybody did this same old walk where they just walked in an imaginary circle. That shit was bullshit to me. I said, oh, they watched way too many scenarios on YouTube where you do that because it's a competition with a whole dance troupe. This was just
right, and you trying to intimidate your opposer or your opposition or whatever. Yeah,
those fake ass spins and that they'll stand on their head for 2 seconds. I'm like, oh no, this ain't fucking break.
Yeah, they had little footwork. They had very little footwork, and they just doing these whack ass tricks, and it's just like, no, y'all don't even know the essence of breaking. Y'all just imitating some shit y'all learn like on the internet somewhere. Ashton says swagger jacking at its worst. It really is. Like it was mad disrespectful. And then I'm like, who are the judges and what are you judging?
I bet you Crazy Legs broke his fucking TV.
Dude, I would have threw my TV in the trash. Come get it. I'm done.
The foundation that Crazy Legs pushed through, if I'd have seen that on the Olympics, and first of all, I got a whole team. Like, Crazy Legs has a whole team of elite dancers. For the fact that we have to see this shit, I'd have punched a hole through my goddamn TV.
Yeah. I wonder if anybody tried to interview to see what their thoughts are.
Well, they're gonna be politically correct, and they're not gonna say, man, that was some bullshit.
Let's see.
They're gonna be like, it was a great chance for the world to see whatever. And I get it, I understand, because you want to push your art further. But I'm as an opinion person, it's just my opinion. The breakdancing that I'm used to, I don't never want to see this Alfonso Ribeiro fucking videotape that I just said.
Okay, so New York Post. It says New York breaking pioneer Crazy Legs excited for sports Olympic debut, but vibe and flavor might be off in Paris. So it sounds like he may be keeping in one. It says it's hard to bust a move when the music has no soul. Yeah, because the music was silly, generic shit.
I was about to say, I ain't even gonna talk about the fucking. That's how you know them niggas wasn't shit.
Right.
Because building a routine goes into rhythm. Rhythm goes into you gotta pick a select song where you act your fucking ass.
Yeah. Right.
Like, they're not gonna give me that shit. If I'm breakdancing, I'll just say, hey man, put on this.
Right.
Oh, you're gonna give yourself an advantage. I don't give a fuck. Know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. And they probably wasn't gonna let them use licensed music. You know what I'm saying? But
I don't have to. All I need is the right beat. I can get an underground nigga to do that shit for me.
Yeah. Yeah. Trick said it looked like the Special Olympics. I wouldn't say it looked like the Special
Oh,
Olympics
because
because the
Special
Special
Olympics would have
Olympics
been
looks
way better.
great. Yeah, the Special Olympics looks great. So I wouldn't even put it in that realm because they looked a hot ass mess. A hot ass mess.
I don't know
And
if
they
you've been
need to
watching
leave
the
that in
Special Olympics.
Paris.
I seen
They need
I
to
seen
leave
a
it in
nigga with
Paris.
no arms. I seen a nigga with no arms break a motherfucking record. He swam so fast. So Special Olympics, man, that would have been 100% better.
Wait, hold on.
Yeah, I'm not bullshitting. It was a swimmer with no arms, and he beat everybody by a landslide.
What? How?
He whatever.
How
I
do
don't
you
know how
get
to
ahead
swim.
with no arms?
That nigga jumped in and he did his body just like this, and like it looked like he was forming a wave on top of his head. You know how everybody else is splashing? It was just a wave, and you seen this nigga just sail past everybody. No bullshit. Like to the point where he wasn't even paying attention. He cracked his head right on that motherfucker. Wow.
Oh, jeez, Louise.
You can look it up. You think I'm bullshitting. So Special Olympics would have did they ass on this. I probably would have enjoyed it more.
Right.
Show that to watch a nigga with no legs do some shit like stand on his head and flip the fuck off. I would have lost my shit.
Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum.
All you see is knees come up and shit.
Right.
I'd have been like, they about to fucking drop that shit.
Right. Because shoot, what was that other movie? With Columbus Short.
Drumline? No.
No.
What the fuck?
He wasn't in Drumline.
Yeah, I was about to say he wasn't in Drumline. What was that shit he was with Chris Brown?
Yeah, Chris Brown and Neo was in it.
Stomp the Yard.
Stomp the Yard, that's what it was. But that was more crumping. But they did do some great breakdance and shit in there.
I was about to say, because they included everything.
Yeah.
That nigga slid on his head all the way to the other side. That nigga was
Right. I was just like, there's no way that was real.
Nah. Not all the way to the other side. Now, I done seen niggas slide on their head, though.
Yeah.
I would wish
I seen them
shit like that in the
Olympics. I just want to know who's, I need names. I want to know whose bright idea this was and who voted on it. I need names.
When I text you this morning, because that's when the competition was playing this morning, I literally woke up just out of the clear blue, like on some fucking 4:30 in the morning shit. Like whatever, just up, can't go back to sleep. Still kind of sleepy though. And was clicking through this shit and watching this shit. And then I was just like, wait a minute. Nigga, when did breakdancing get on the Olympics?
Yeah.
And I was like, I was intrigued. And then it started getting lame as fuck.
Yeah. I knew about it at the beginning. Excuse me. I knew about it in the beginning. Because they were talking about it and everybody was so excited that it was added, you know. But yeah, the clips I saw, I was like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. This shit was trash. And my hopes wasn't high for it anyway, because, you know, yes, it was created in America, but Japan really has taken it over. So it's like, I wasn't shocked seeing a bunch of Asians breaking, but I was expecting to see more because they've been doing it for a couple of decades now, you know. I was expecting to see better work. Like, they love that shit.
I've seen breakdancing when MTV had that fucking show.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't understand. I don't know how old those brothers are from Paris. That
dance with Beyonce.
Yeah, but I don't even. I'm like,
amazing.
Why the fuck wasn't y'all there?
Yeah,
they incorporate breakdancing as well.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I've seen dancers, so I don't get it. Like, I'm a fan of dancers. Like,
Yeah.
no
You're
bullshit.
talking about the Les twins.
Yeah. Like,
Mhm.
I'm a fan of dancers. Like, so
Yeah.
I didn't. This shit that they were doing was subpar at best.
Yeah, and that's why I'm like, who's judging and what are y'all judging on? Because if you didn't have the B-boys from back in the day up there as judges, then he's not legit. You know what I'm saying?
It would have.
Like,
Everybody would have got bronze if it was the B-boys. You got to place. Everybody would have been third. Nobody's second or first. Like, you niggas are trash.
I don't even think they would have gave out medals. They would have been like, we gotta do this again another year. Because I'm not giving out shit. I'm not voting for nobody.
Yeah,
But Trick says he's more aerodynamic. That's his advantage.
he
Talking
was.
about
If you see that, if you Google that shit and look it up, well, I'm talking about, man, I was impressed.
I would have to see it because I just can't compute it.
I was impressed. I'm talking about, he bust out there and then he just went. I was like, oh shit.
Oh man. Okay, so yeah. So that was the breakdancing. So another thing was that they've been doing lately is the track and field. Have you caught any of that?
Mm-hmm.
And there was one, I believe his name is Quincy Hall.
Yep.
He's from Kansas City.
He's from the town. He won the 400.
He won a gold. Yeah, he won the 400. And I don't know him from a can of paint, but my friend hit me up and was like, "Do you remember somebody?" And I was like, "No." And she was like, "Well, this is what he looked like." I was like, "I still don't remember him because apparently I worked with his father."
Gotcha.
And I was like, "I don't remember him." But she was telling me that he was the father of the dude that just won gold. And I'm like, "Oh, well, that's what's up," because I still don't remember him. But I started watching like the videos, like because his brother did like a watch party here and had the news there and stuff, and his brother got all emotional and stuff. It was real cool because they said that he has been working to this goal for the longest. So shout out to Quincy Hall.
I like it a lot. As a person that in high school ran the 400 and the 800, that was dope.
Yeah. Did you see the controversy behind the 16-year-old? I forgot his name, but he qualified, and then they took it back, saying that he didn't have enough experience. So he the person that he beat a couple of times, he beat him a couple of times to qualify. So the person that he beat was supposed to take his spot. But then he ended up running anyway. And he just ran, but they didn't get the gold. So like it was controversy behind that. Let me see. I think I may have kept it. Let me double check. Because there's been a couple controversies.
There's been a bunch of shit.
Yeah.
Especially with the women's 100. I was watching that, how they denied them entries, so they had to walk all the way around, and they didn't get a chance to warm up. So the Jamaican chick dropped out because she didn't get a chance to warm up. Shakuri still ran, but she ended up coming in second, and I'm like,
yeah,
like just imagine how. I always look at this, because I was talking about that shit at work. I'm like, it's a big difference from an athlete and just a motherfucker to play a sport. Like, for her to have to really walk all the way around to the point where she misses warm-ups and still comes in second, she's a pure fucking athlete.
That's wild. Why did they deny them access?
For some, it was all on camera and everything because the Jamaican girl was like, "We've been going through this way the whole time. Now y'all saying we can't come through?" Like they like, "Nah, you can't come through this way." And so they had to walk all the way around. And I don't know how the way that shit is set up for the Olympics, but they had to walk so long that they missed warm-ups.
Wow, that's horrible. That's horrible. For one, they should have had go-karts carrying them around.
So she
to get them
dropped out
in.
the race. Yeah, she dropped out the race because she was like, "Ain't no point. Like, I ain't even had a chance to get my legs warm." Yeah, you did because you walked, but
You walk, right?
you know that fear fucked you up.
Yeah, right.
Yuri said,
So-
"I don't give a fuck, bitch. Run that shit." And she ran and came in second. So just imagine if she had a chance to warm up and really bust shit open and had a chance to like relax her muscles. Oh yeah, she would have had 2 golds instead of 1.
Right, right. So Trick says they had to walk over an hour. That is insane. That's insane. They set them up. They set them up for that. So the 16-year-old that I was talking about, his name is Quincy Wilson. So yeah, and he ran the 4x400. So yeah, but it was a controversy with him. Then there's another controversy with the track and field because of was it Noah Lyles?
Yeah, Noah Lyles. Yeah.
Yeah. He won in a photo finish, and I think it was against a Jamaican, and people were upset behind that as well. Because they were saying that they should have tied, but when you get down to the decimal points of it all, he won. And then when you get down to the rules, because your torso has to cross the line first to
That's
win.
what I was about to say. His torso crossed the line. The Jamaican's foot crossed the line. It's a big difference.
It's a big difference, yeah. So people were like, dissecting it and looking at it in different angles and stuff like that. And yeah, it's been a big debate on who won that or whatever. But the rule is the rule. Your torso has to cross the line. I always thought it was your foot too, or your head, because you always see them like put their head first. But yeah, I didn't know it was the torso, but the torso makes it more fair, so I get it. But yeah. So we had that. Then okay. Then with gymnastics. So there was with Jordan Childs. She won the bronze, right? And there was somebody else that they announced won the bronze first, and then I guess your coaches have a time frame to contest it. So they put in the request to having contested. It got contested, and then Jordan Childs actually won. So now the latest in that is that the Romanian committee argued that a controversial inquiry from Team USA coaches following the floor final results, which led to an unexpected rise in Childs' score, was made after the 1-minute deadline and should not have been allowed. So what happened was the Romanian committee, they contested the contest that Team USA did. Team USA put in their request at 1 minute 4 seconds. So that 4-second difference is a technicality that the Romanian people might win. Yeah, so she may have to give her bronze back because of 4 seconds.
If I was in 4th place, I would not accept that.
What you mean by that?
You know, because by fault, you know, if she has to give away the bronze, and the bronze has to be given to somebody, so it would be the person in fourth place. I wouldn't accept that. I would always be like, nah, that's hers.
And you know, people in the comments were saying what you're saying.
Yeah, like you know, that's hers. Like whatever technicality y'all trying to do, I'm not gonna accept that. Yeah, that's hers. She won it fair and square.
She won it, yeah, and that's just it's just sad that it's about to come down to that, because at the end of the day, she's gonna have if this does happen and she does have to give that bronze back, the fourth place person is gonna have an asterisk by that bronze. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. They'll forever have that. And there's always gonna be people that be like, well, you didn't really win it. You won it off of technicality. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's why I wouldn't accept it. And I would you know what I'm saying, you know, as I played sports, so I'm competitive. But as much as I'm competitive, I understand my wins and my losses. That's always going to be a win for her and a loss for me. I'm not never going to, you know what I'm saying, go against that.
Yeah. Trick says, this is Romania, Jack. They don't have anything else. And you could be right on that point.
I was about to say, you got a point.
Right.
You got a point. Like,
yeah.
They ain't known for nothing but fucked up environments when it comes to movies. Like,
right.
Hostile. Right. Hostile. How the fuck do we get out of Romania with these crazy motherfuckers trying to kill us?
Okay. Shit, it's always cold and dark. Like, they never have any sun. Like, they're a bunch of pale people.
Man, Taken.
They don't own a tanning bed or nothing. Like, no.
Taken had a stint in Romania.
Yeah.
Fuck them Romanians up too.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, you definitely may have a point there, Trick. It's just that's kind of fucked up. 4 seconds, like y'all really gonna be that petty, but you know it's the Olympics. People are gonna be that petty. Mm-hmm. So, what's another thing? Oh, the men's basketball just won their gold, which, of course, did we expect anything else? Like. If I came from another country, I wouldn't even compete in basketball. Like, I'm not getting out there to get my ass whooped by them Americans. Like, we already know what the deal is. Like, if you win, it's on a fluke. Like, America's gonna win. Period.
Now, one thing I did say about America's, I knew they was gonna win the gold, but the thing about this is, when you have Team USA, these are the best basketball players in the world. None of y'all should expect to get out of that motherfucking basketball arena winning. But what I've been seeing, which is crazy, is they have been close. Been 1 point game, 10-point game, 5-point game. Like, I don't understand why they ain't blowing these motherfuckers out by 15 to 20 plus.
Those days have been gone.
And see, this is the thing. Yeah. This is where I start getting nervous about American basketball. And I only say it like this because I want y'all to understand the game of sports. And I'll go to a game that nobody fucking paid attention to when I was growing up. It's hockey. Hockey was dominated by America for a minute, and then all of a sudden, if you look at it now, it is more outside than it is American in hockey. And I'm afraid that's going to happen eventually with USA basketball. And when that happens, you're going to have overseas stars and just American role players. So now in the USA is going to start being mediocre as fuck. Now, the reason why I say that is because remember when we had the quote unquote super young stars, Carmelo, Wade, shit, I'm losing, but it was a couple of, and we only came up with the bronze.
Mm-hmm.
Well, eventually, we're not even gonna start making it there.
I don't think we're gonna get to the point where we don't come home with a medal. But
There shouldn't be no reason why the greatest people in the world to play basketball is not getting nothing less than gold.
yeah. I think when we don't get a gold, I think it's a fluke because, like you said, like these are the most elite in their field all over the world because other countries strive to want to be in the NBA. You know what I'm saying? It's not the other way around. Like the NBA is the top of the top, and then they get their biggest players to play in the Olympics. Which I remember in Olympics past, people having issue with that, But but the thing is that these are the most elite. These are the most elite in their field. So with the rest of the world striving to be like them or to be better than them, I can see them coming with their A game all the time and winning all the time.
That's the thing. I'm glad you said that because this is going to be what's going to keep us dominant.
Mm-hmm.
Because at one point it's going to be all the NBA stars, half of them are going to be not from the NBA. I can predict that in the next 5 to 6 years.
Mm-hmm.
What's going to keep the NBA or USA basketball at gold status is if we really start utilizing those dope ass role players. And I will say it just like this. At one point in basketball, everybody's team was so rocked up with so many stars, they didn't understand why they were losing. And the reason why they were losing is because it was teams with basically nobody until they won chips that knew how to fundamentally play with each other. Everybody remembered the Detroit Pistons run.
Mm-hmm.
And they did that twice. They did that when Jordan was playing, and then they did that after Jordan.
Mm-hmm.
They knew how to play with each other. Now, all of them are famous now.
Yeah.
They weren't famous at first. They just fundamentally knew how to play the game and played that game smart and played it how they were supposed to. Big men played big men. You know what I'm saying? Shooter played shooter, guard played guard.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what we need to go back to when it comes to USA basketball. Or we're going to start dwindling down. You're going to see it. We're going to end up coming second. Then we're going to be third. Then we're going to be third. Then we're going to be nothing.
Yeah. But I can't see the day that we're nothing.
I just told you what it is.
Yeah. I understand what you're saying. I'm telling
you, in the next 5 years. So that means in the next 5 years, that means that the Olympics before that,
mm-hmm.
we're not gonna go in the gold. I can guarantee you we're not gonna get gold.
Next Olympics.
Yeah, they were barely winning. They were talking about stats.
Yeah.
LeBron doing this, KD doing this. But they were barely winning.
So you feel like they need to go back and start playing as a collective more than individually?
They got to start playing as a collective.
Yeah.
If you don't, you keep on getting, you see how it went.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, they were winning, of course, but they were barely winning.
Right.
Barely.
Right.
Like when you
but I don't think they're going to ignore that point. You know what I'm saying? Like people have been like peeping game with the NBA for years, going to their respective countries, getting their shit together to come back and have those small margins with them winning still, but not by much. So I feel like the other countries are going to go back and, do what they've been doing even more. But I feel like the Olympic team is also taking heed to what's going on as well to get better come next round.
We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll definitely see.
We've been doing this dream team shit for 20 fucking years.
Yeah, we've been doing it a really long time. And then on top of that, we're gonna have home field advantage because it's gonna be in LA next year or next Olympics. So
But
if they don't blow it out the water in LA in 28 and have that not like us playing when they get their medals, something's up.
I'm gonna tell you what's gonna happen. They gonna come second. They gonna get the silver. Because if they just keep playing American NBA stars instead of NBA fundamental players,
yeah,
then it's never gonna. We're gonna see a decline because you got people from overseas that play like these stars.
Mm-hmm.
They don't got people that play like the role player, so that's gonna fuck them up every time.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you definitely have a point, but I just see them continuing to win. At least I hope that they continue to win. Trick Turner says, sounds like we don't want to piss the pale Europeans off. The thing about the Olympic basketball games, those folks are using that as being scouted for possible chance to get to the NBA. Yeah, I can see that as well.
And showing their ass off.
Yeah. And they knew how to play with each other. Pause.
I get what you're saying. No pause, because that's exactly what I said. Like,
yeah,
start getting that instead of these independent players. Like,
yeah,
they don't even know how to play with their team. They don't know how to play with each other because everybody's stars, so they just watching them go out.
mm-hmm.
You know,
yeah.
You gotta change that billing up. Once you change that billing up, watch how, you know what I'm saying, we become dominant again. I'm surprised. I hate that we stop putting college players out there.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's been a big controversy behind Olympic basketball with America's team for a while because of the fact that we get the NBA players. Like, they're like why not get the college players? Why are you getting these people? They're so much more better than the rest of the people. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're playing on a professional level, you know, but I mean, it's just what it is currently. So
I would say in the future it needs to be 5 NBA players, and then we need to have 6 college players.
Or cause you know, for real, remember back when AM1 used to do those mixtape tours?
Mm-hmm.
Some of those players would be better than the players in the NBA. Like, why don't they open it up?
Like an audition?
Yeah.
You would only way I could see them doing that is if they already had a starting 3. Because at the end of the day, you do have to have the elite. Like, you got you
got to have your stars.
Yeah, you got your AM1 players, and a lot of them are dope. Honestly, super fantastic ball players.
Yeah.
But if you think about it, you know they play games to 12 and 15. They don't know what it is to run for fucking 80 minutes.
Yeah.
You know,
but have the process be very extensive.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. Like,
when they had pickup games, they're not used to doing it consistently.
Right. I would have a very, very, very intense audition process and just have them practice for a year at least, up until like the last year. We'll have our team, we'll have our reserves, and just run it for that next year up into the Olympics till it's time to go. That's how I would do it. But I would definitely open it up. You know, just like do like how on some American Idol type shit, or you know what I'm saying, or have people send in tapes, or just try to make it to where it's not just pulling from the NBA, because there are a lot of players that may not be in the NBA that are way better than those players in the NBA. And then get your stars, because you got to have the stars. That's just what it is. You got to have the stars on the team.
Have your stars.
Yeah.
Then you got to think about what's so crazy about overseas is they'll put a young phenomenon on their roster. That's the thing that, you know what I'm saying, I be telling people, they, especially now that we don't realize, the USA basketball team probably played with somebody who was probably like 17 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And they barely won.
Yeah.
Like, this should show you, like, come on, man, they're pulling out of everywhere. They pulling there. They pulling talent.
Mm-hmm.
Start pulling talent.
Right.
You know, you could be a star just because you got star power. That don't mean like you're a phenomenal basketball player. And there's no downplay to anybody in the NBA because it takes phenomenal effort to get to the NBA, period. So I'm not downplaying you. You guys can definitely beat me in any game of basketball whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
But again, when I say that, I would say, can y'all actually beat that 41-year-old man that was playing for Ukraine that was lighting y'all ass up?
Yeah.
This is different. And I ain't saying, and I'm just making up an assumption because I don't know if it was somebody out there like that, but I can guarantee you it was somebody out there like that. That was probably my age or older than me that was lighting the fuck out of y'all.
Yeah.
Because y'all was barely winning shit.
Right. 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 They just need to take it or take a step back and just kind of redo some things, you know. Because yes, they won, but like you said, they barely won. So yeah.
Yeah, that shit was wild.
Yeah.
But again, they won the gold, so it is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
LeBron has been the face of America for these Olympics,
Mm-hmm.
and I understand why he's the face. But you know, celebrating the gold, man. Let me just say that, celebrating the gold.
Yeah. Celebrate the gold, but yeah, your face is frozen right now.
Yours is too. So
because I'm looking online and I'm okay, but you're not okay online.
yeah, mine is on my end. It's showing both of us stuff.
Yeah, because you're there you go. Now you're good.
Still moving slow.
Yeah. But your sound is been on this whole time, so
Yeah, I
so
figured my sound was on because I could hear you. So I was like, all right.
yeah. So yeah. So that's the Olympics. When is the Olympics over?
You know what? I don't know.
Let me see. Because what do they have left to do? Oh, another thing with the Olympics, the boxer. But did you hear about that?
Yeah, I'm okay. Cool. I'm glad you brought that up.
Yeah. So basically, from what my understanding is, with the boxer was that she was born a woman. However, she had more testosterone than an average woman. So she disqualified a few years ago, but then she requalified this time. But she was beating the person's ass. Now, did I get that right? And then
Yeah.
that person quit.
Yeah. Yep.
So with them testing the testosterone and the estrogen, did that come about specifically because of the trans community?
No, that's
Or
always
was they doing that before?
That's always
okay. So okay, like I'm why are they testing the testosterone and
Okay,
estrogen?
so for people that don't know about the Olympics, what they do is they test your blood work, and they also test your urine. They take hair samples and all this. This is in order to find out if you are doping or not, because they don't want nobody to have an unfair advantage.
Right.
This is what they do it for. Now with the and I'm a honest to God say this with the young woman that they're talking about. When they tested her before, it was disqualified because they found out that she had a little bit more testosterone than everyone else has. Other than that, she never doped or used any other advantages. It's in her blood work. It's in her DNA. She has I don't know what chromosomes, XY chromosomes. She has more male chromosomes than female. But she was born a female. With that being said, I will say this. What I dislike about America is y'all literally hung this woman out there saying that she had no right to competing, saying that she was transgender, all of this old extra. This woman was born a woman, identifies as a woman. She happens to have more testosterone than I guess your quote unquote normal woman. We've all seen that. I got an auntie with a full fucking beard. She's still my auntie. Like she's still my auntie. She's just my auntie with hair on her face. I don't know what hole that we have put in ourselves in when it becomes the great divide between the LGBTQ world and the male female. I don't know how y'all want to place yourself with role, but whatever it is, we just got to go with scientific facts. The scientist said she was born with a little extra testosterone. Scientists also say she was born a female. So why are we fighting over this? Why are we making a controversy? Because this bitch hit harder than everybody else.
Yeah.
I got a cousin named Chaos that hit harder than any man I've ever fought in my whole life. I don't never look at her in the face and be like, you fucking dude ass bitch. Like, it's weird.
Know,
don't get mad. Like, first of all, this is not like she's totally dominated. The last time she was even a part of anything, she only waited to the semifinals. So it was so she worked on being this fucking strong.
Mm-hmm.
You know, this ain't no fly by night shit. She worked for this. So respect it. Yeah. And let that bitch beat the shit out of other bitches and shut the fuck up.
Right. It's crazy because that's how they used to come at Serena. And it was like she trained her body to be that elite athlete. And now y'all trying to come for her femininity. Like, it's wild. It's wild. But I was just like, I was just confused on the reason why they would be testing it anyway. Like I get testing them for doping and stuff like that, but why are you testing the testosterone? Woman that was born a woman, because I only heard of it in the aspect of testing trans.
Well, I will tell you this if you didn't know, especially with steroids use, that's the first thing they do is test testosterone because that's what increases in steroid use.
Gotcha. They got to figure out something. They got to figure out something else. Because
her levels always stay the same.
Yeah, because if you were naturally having more testosterone in your body. You can't help that, you know.
Exactly.
So, and I get them doing extensive testing because they don't want nobody that's doping, but you got to figure out other ways to figure out if somebody doping or not, because that can happen. And the fact that I'm born this way, that disqualifies me. Like, that's not cool.
That's what held her back in the past, and I think whatever they've been doing so far is the reason why she was able to compete now. Because it is a thing, like, if this is natural, like, these levels is never wavered. This is the reason why she was able to compete, because her levels never wavered. They were just extremely higher than other women.
Yeah.
So,
and that happens.
Yeah, and that's just the whole point of it. Like, when they was having that whole controversy, I seen the interview, and the dude said, flat out, she identifies as a woman. She was born genetically as a woman, so she's going to compete as a woman. Mm-hmm. And he just left it at that. Like, I'm not about to keep arguing with y'all. This
is what it is. It's what it is. Yeah. So Trick says, I have a cousin with a mustache and hairy chest, big titties, and loves low cut shirts. Yeah.
Wow. That's almost diabolical that you said that your hairy ass doesn't got big titties. That's diabolical, because I wouldn't even know if my hairy cousin had big titties, because I'm not even looking. Like, nah, that is mad business, my nigga.
Jeez. Well, I mean, in his defense, sometimes you just can't deny the fact that your cousin got big titties. I don't know.
Yeah, if you a hairy motherfucker like that, like, I'm not even looking at you like that. I'm like, I glance at you and be like, oh shit, like, this motherfucker got hair everywhere, and that's it. Again, like I told you, I got an auntie with a beard. I don't even know. I can honestly tell you, I don't even know what her body looks like. I always be focused on the beard.
Yeah.
Such a bad person. That's the truth, though.
I remember this one time. It was after one of our loved ones' funerals, and we was at somebody's house for the repast. I can't remember if you was outside or not, but this happened outside. And one of our cousins' husband is a jokester. And this lady pulled up, and she probably looked, because at the time we were in our 20s, so she probably looked like maybe 30. And she had a full-fledged mustache. And our cousin's husband, when she got out the car and started walking towards us, because we was like in front of the house, but on the sidewalk in front of the house. Mm-hmm. So once she got out the car and started walking towards us, because she was coming to the house, he was like, hey, look at your girl with your mustache looking all good. You got it trimmed up and everything. Like, whoa.
Wow. You know what? I think I know exactly who you talking about.
Yes, you do. You know exactly who, because we only know one person that would have did some shit like that.
Yeah, I know. Because that nigga's wild. That nigga is a wild boy. Like, oh.
And when I tell you, we died that day. Died. But this is the thing. It looked like she legit trimmed that mug up. And yeah. It was just like, wow, okay.
Had that motherfucker looking dope.
Okay. Like, there's this lady.
Compliment.
Yeah, she probably would have taken it as a compliment if it wasn't for us laughing so hard. Because I'm telling you, we was crying.
Now, this is the thing. Because I think I know who you're talking about. I'm pretty sure when y'all started laughing, he was like, nah, for real. For real. Motherfucker on point. This motherfucker bitch on point.
Yes.
Because I know him because he's petty like that.
Yeah, he's horrible.
He crack a
He's
joke and then he
horrible.
want to be like, nah, for real though.
Right. And I mean, he was really bigging her up, and we was dying. Oh my God, we was dying that day.
I already know. All right, we gonna talk after the show because I know.
Yeah. But yeah, he was horrible at that shit. But you know, yeah, that's what he did, and I'll never forget that. That shit happened almost 20 years ago. Yeah, I'll never forget that shit.
Because if we talking about the same nigga, this is the same nigga that literally looked me in the face and was like, damn, boy, you looking good, boy. I'm so glad you shook that bitch, and that's family. I'm like, this nigga just ornery. And he was like, boy, you looking good now, boy. I'm so glad you shook that bitch. That's family. Like, at the same time, said it.
Damn. Yep. We're talking about the same one. We're talking about the exact same person. Mm-hmm. That's some shit he was saying.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. So, yeah, you know what stood out to me when that lady had that mustache was that she was young with a mustache, because I never saw no young person with a mustache that thick. That's usually something that an older person would do.
You didn't go to school in the city.
I didn't go. I only went to elementary in the city. Yeah, I didn't go to middle and high.
By the time you got to high school, you were definitely seeing bitches with whole mustaches.
That would be that thick like a dude?
I'm talking about thick like a dude. Like no bullshit. Like you got to think high school. It was more like, it wasn't like grown man beard, but it was that prominent peach fuzz. I knew bitches that had sideburns that turned into motherfucking beards for real. You know what's so weird about that? Even thinking about that right now, it was niggas that I went to high school with that was like, they were really on the fetish that if a bitch had a hairy face, that means she was hella horny. Like you could fuck her all the time. Like pussy stay wet. Like boy,
what does that have to do with anything? I'm confused.
They used to say, and I would have to, you know what I'm saying? You would have to ask a nigga in the inner city so you would know I'm not lying. But they used to say, hairy bitches kept wet pussy. And it's like, the hairier the bitch, the wetter the pussy is.
So confused. Like, I don't know what one has to do with the other.
I don't either, but I was going through that. I knew when I say this, I'm only telling y'all the shit that I seen. I watched a nigga chase a bitch. And I was like, why are you chasing her? And like, it was for some strange reason, he had to have this hairy arm bitch. This bitch arms were super hairy. Like, I don't got a lot of hair. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's just my genes. I don't have a lot of hair. But you know the niggas that have like full blown, real crazy hair with it's prominent on that shit?
Yeah.
Now, I'll never forget in the 10th grade, it was a bitch that was just like that. And I know I got a homeboy that I'm talking about love their fucking dirty draws. And I'm like, why do you, this bitch got arms like a white boxer? Like, what the fuck, what are we doing?
Yeah.
Like, yeah,
I I get the hair on the arms and the legs and stuff like that. Like, but it's the facial hair for me. Like, I can't. But
mustaches too. Every chick I know with a mustache that was in high school, they got at least 3 kids now. And their first one was in high school.
Wow. So they was really on 18.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I had a mustache I had it ever since I was little, but I took care of it. But this is the crazy part about mine is that like the majority of the people didn't even realize I had it. And it was just like, but it was me, so of course I'm like, it's right there. But it was never that big of a deal because majority of people didn't even realize it was there. But I knew it was a big deal and I took care of it.
I've seen women that did not ever.
Yeah. But if it was ever that big, if it was ever that prominent, oh, it would have been gone the first day. Absolutely not.
I've seen it. I've seen motherfuckers, niggas be saying these is bad bitches. And them bitches be having hair on their chin. And I'd be like, what? Okay,
Yeah.
bro. Whatever you like, man. Whatever
Yeah.
floats your boat.
Yeah, I be seeing that too. Like they stay with the hair and don't give a damn if they clean it up or not.
They
And stay
don't.
with a man. And I'd be like, oh, okay. Whatever floats your
My little
boat.
bitch got a whole patch right here. Like, this shit like a whole patch. I'm
Yeah.
like, damn. And she keep a nigga.
Yeah. Hey. So, yeah. Trick says bring back Harry Coochie 2024. Here we go.
Yeah, you know. you could say what you want to say, man. You can do it like I'm not even gonna fault you no more. I'm just saying, as much as you in that nostalgia, think about the smell. Just think about, and I ain't saying, a woman is nasty for having a hairy coochie or nothing, but like sometimes, like say y'all go out of town and y'all drinking and y'all doing y'all thing and blah blah blah. It's hot Miami night. You want to go home and fuck. You want to fuck right then and there, and it's crazy. You pull that shit down, and that shit got 8-hour musk on it, because that shit is all through there. It ain't like a landing strip. It's like a real bush, like you want it. Man, you know that shit has been collecting her pH balance all day.
Lord have mercy.
Taking that shit out them jeans is gonna be a wild business for you, cowboy. If you want to take that ride, then take that ride. That's on you.
Oh, jeez Louise. All right. So that's that. Have you ever dated anybody with a hairy chest?
No.
Have you ever seen it?
I have. I have.
Now that's something that you don't see that often, but yeah.
You know what? You'd be surprised how I've seen a lot of women, and I can't even say it's big or small. I've seen multiple women with like hair on their chest, like right in that cleft right here, that like spread out. And I'm like, damn, that's wild. And they really don't give a fuck.
Yeah. Yeah, some people apparently like that shit. But yeah, that's the only time I've seen it. It would be like right there in the chest, in the cleavage area. Yep, and they'll show it.
Yeah, I just seen big and little titties like that. I'm like, wow.
Yeah. So Trick says he lying. He used to talk to my cousin Carmelita.
I ain't never fucked a bitch named Carmelita, so that's a lie. But every chick I ever talked to, I smashed. So like, nah, I don't know a Carmelita, my nigga.
Yeah, but shoot. But yeah, I remember that one episode of Martin. It was back when Martin and Gina had broke up and he had went to the club.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the girls that was trying to talk to him or whatever, she had a hairy chest. And he was like, whoa. And she was like, it's just a little chest hair. The Europeans find it very sexy. Don't you agree? Hell no, that ain't sexy.
Like, yeah, See, and even saying that, I'm gonna just say this to the world. Like, I get it. Certain spots have certain niches. That shit ain't for everybody. You can't just throw that shit on everybody. Everybody don't like that.
You got to ease them into it. Got to
Yeah,
prepare them.
Yeah, people ain't into that shit. Like,
Oh man,
you can't just throw that shit on a person because that's gonna throw a person out.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, by the way, I got this fucking white man chest. Like, my chest looks like Tom Selleck. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah. Ain't nobody trying to do that. Like,
hey, you like what you like, I guess.
you just imagine fucking with a bitch and the bitch be like, all right, listen. You said you like Marvel movies. You said you like comic books. Just letting you know because I got a Wolverine chest. And you like, what? And you think, you know what I'm saying? Like, maybe the bitch a little cocky up under them shirts. Now this bitch got a full fucking fur coat over her titty.
So you want her to be more specific because she couldn't be talking about pecs. She had pecs.
Yeah, you got to be for real. Like, what are we talking about?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, what are we doing? We seen that cartoon fucking Wolverine. That nigga had a chest like a real Canadian. It was hairy as fuck.
Oh man. So yeah, that's the Olympic talk. So last up is Love After Lockup. So I had to take a break from Love After Lockup because it just got to be just a bit too much. And I was just like, this is ridiculous. I gotta go. So I just clocked back in a few days ago. They just started a new season about 2 weeks ago. So they got like 2 episodes now. One of the chicks that's on the show is from Independence, Missouri. Independence is a suburb of Kansas City. So she's from the town. And she's with
Can we not say it's a suburb?
What is it?
Because it has its suburban aspects, but it is really a gutter ball place. Independence is really a gutter, and y'all know it. Y'all from the town.
Independence has its good days and bad days. Let's say that.
It has it's more bad than it is good. And I mean, and honestly, I'm saying this because y'all run out there too. Y'all run out to Independence like y'all are gonna see a new life, and then what y'all end up finding out is meth heads are crazier than crackheads.
Yeah,
and it's nothing but meth heads out there.
Yeah, it's like low key the meth capital, but yeah, like Independence doesn't have that pizzazz when you say that. When you say Independence, like Lee Summit, you know what I'm saying? So I give you that. But nonetheless, it is considered a suburb of Kansas City.
If you're in the right area.
Yeah,
area is very small.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like, Independence got its good days and bad days because it got multi-million-dollar houses, and then it got the nostalgia houses that have been there for 150 years. Then you got the areas where meth is very prominent. It's all wrapped up into this big ass suburb. So, or town, or whatever you want to call it.
It's a town because it's not a suburb.
Yeah. That this girl is from. So she is she is from Independence. And her dude that just got out of jail, he did 13 years. And they have him being from Cape Girardeau, but he said he was raised in Chicago. So, and you can hear it. He has a Chicago accent, but yeah.
And he was
So we
just
have
right here on the. He was on the crust of Illinois. That's just all that is. A lot of them niggas do that shit. Them niggas on that side, they do that shit. And then they always say Chicago. Them niggas is 4 hours away.
yeah. Well, you have a point there. You
I wish
definitely
y'all can stop with that bullshit. We know.
have. Yeah. So Trick says if the suburbs was a meth factory.
Exactly.
So yeah. So we have that couple. Their situation is, like I said, he did 13 years, I think, for a robbery or whatever. And she has kids, but they have been together for like a couple years and they're engaged, right? So he was like when he got out or whatever after they went out to eat and stuff like that, he was like extremely fixated on having sex. Which I get. That's like one of your top things that you want to do once you get out, especially after doing 13 years. Like, I get it. But it was like he was extremely fixated on it to where they went to a sex store and bought like $200 worth of shit. And they're still in Cape Girardeau. So they have a Airbnb, and he was talking about all these little shit that he wanted to do, and she's not that experienced, and she wasn't even like 100% down with having sex with him the first night. So it was like, y'all not even on the same page as far as this is concerned. Then they ended up having sex, and the next day he burnt out, just was gone. She calling his phone, he not answering, stuff like that. What ended up happening was that he went and hung out with his sister, but yeah, like it was crazy. And he's already being defiant, like with his parole officer and stuff like that. He's already being defiant and stuff. So it just sounds like it's about to be must see TV for the next few weeks. So and on top of all this, she lost her job. She ain't told him that she's unemployed. And she said she had spent like $30,000 on him. Not to mention, she got kids.
Hmm.
And I just, when you look at some of these people that's on the show, you're like, and they tell you how much money they spent on their significant other. You're like, where are they getting this money from? Because they sure don't look like they got that kind of money. You know?
I mean, it's always I look at it like when they say that, I always look at how long they've been fucking with him when they was in jail, and I know that calculation that costs. So, say for her, like, you know, she didn't spend 30 racks. If you put the 30 racks in, they've been how long they've been fucking with each other while he was locked up?
I want to say like 2 or 3 years.
2 or 3 years. So you calculate that. Let's just do 2. That's just 15 grand a year. So that's basically the equivalent of giving him $7.50 an hour. I can see that happening as far as, you know, her always just, you know, every month she putting at least a couple of hundred in his account. You know, you know what I'm saying? I can see that. I can see that going on.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I can see when people say this is how much they spend. I can see that depending on the duration of them fucking with each other when that individual was locked up.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I get that, but I don't know. Maybe I'm different because I can't see myself doing it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see nobody, doing that to somebody that is a complete stranger. It always baffles me about that.
Yeah.
I'm a person that, I happen to have the luxury. And it is and when I say that, I'm not downplaying it. It's a luxury to put money on your people's books when they're in jail.
Mm-hmm.
Because that means out of everything that I'm doing in my life, I have the ability to still make sure that some way, somehow, you can be remotely comfortable. That's a luxury that a lot of people don't have.
Yeah. Yeah. But the thing is that you're doing it for people that you know.
Exactly. That's what I was about to say. The thing is, I'm not doing it to a stranger.
Mm-hmm.
When these people, because I said I wasn't gonna. We had this conversation before the podcast, and I said I wasn't gonna say anything until I got on the podcast. So I'll say this: as a person that and without all intents purposes, say fund the jail. I'm a person that, know what I'm saying, will fund the jail. The thing about it is, with a lot of these people, they're funding the jail and they're missing their priorities. They're so caught up in certain things. When you and Jasmine had this conversation about people, and I 100% agree with it, but at one point, we also have to say these people that do that have some form of selfishness because they don't worry about things that are in front of them. You're doing this and you have never met this man or talked to this man or this woman, like outside of this. Like, y'all never did this in the quote unquote source of freedom. It's because you're selfish and you want to control the situation. And then once they get out, you have to realize once a person gets a taste of freedom, they no longer want to be controlled. And I think that's the downplay. What happens with a lot of these people is because they get caught up and thinking while they were locked up, I know they're going to call me here. I know they're going to call me there. I know they're going to do this. And then everything switches up when you become free because everything becomes new. Like now, 6 o'clock chow time ain't 6 o'clock chow time. Bitch, I can eat whenever I want to. If I want to eat at 4 o'clock and take a nap, I'm fine. It just, you know what I'm saying? That's the thing about those love after lockup individuals, man. I look at it and I just be like, y'all pick people from jail because y'all still wanted to be in a form of control. You're never going to control somebody like that, especially a person that is naturally defiant. You're never going to be able to do that. But again, that's just my opinion. I could be wrong, but I think a lot of them women do that shit to themselves.
Yeah, they definitely do that shit to themselves. Just like we were talking before, like I get why people, because they're serial daters of people that are incarcerated. So I get the ideology behind dating somebody that is not of the free world. But just because I get it, it doesn't make it necessarily right. And I'm not saying that it's 100% wrong to date somebody incarcerated. What I'm saying is that if this is something that you gravitate towards, it's something else that's going on that you may need to work out.
Yeah. I just feel like when you date somebody in prison, male or female, you gotta allow them to get that choice of freedom.
Mm-hmm.
Just because I've never been in jail for a long period of time, so I can't be that kind and say I know what it is. But I empathize with it because you got to think this world grows so fast. So say you locked up for 5-10 years. The world has completely grown to another level where you have no idea what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
So you gotta allow them people to go out there. Like I hope, hopefully I'll never be under them shoes. I know Jasmine doesn't do anything crazy, but just in the point of that, like say Jasmine goes to jail and she goes to jail for 5 years, and I hold her down this whole 5 years. When Jasmine get out, I know Jasmine is not going to want to stay at home. I know Jasmine ain't gonna. I ain't saying she's gonna go out there and fuck and all that old extra shit. I'm just saying in real life, they're not gonna want to stay stagnant. They've been stagnant for too long. They're gonna want to move around. I'm not gonna be upset with her wanting to move around and see what the world is like now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna think there's anything wrong with that. I'm not gonna track her. I'm not gonna try to be on anything else because they've been going through that forever anyway. Why do y'all think they're gonna still be cool with that routine? That routine is cool when you lock down, but when you're free, don't nobody want to be held like that no more.
Yeah.
That's the thing. They so caught up because they never been locked up before, and they have a routine of always staying down. You don't know what you know what I'm saying? Once these people get out, they want to do this. They ain't ass routine no more because everything is brand new.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta allow them people to go through that.
Yeah.
You know, you gotta let them go through that, and then you gotta let them somber themselves down because it's gonna be a long time before that ever happens. If you try to put sanction on them, you gotta do this, you gotta do that. You can't do that shit to a nigga that been locked up for 5+. He gonna always, or she gonna always do what she want to do. Because she can't get in trouble for it no more, or he can't get in trouble for it no more.
Mm-hmm.
And they mind, they really think they free now. You know, at first when they was locked up, if the warden says you got to be in your room at 10 o'clock and it's 10:05 and I'm still outside, I get in trouble for it. I don't get in trouble for that shit no more. I ain't about to listen to you. What you gonna do? Get mad? Make me sleep on a couch? I don't give a fuck. Bitch, I slept on a bunk for 15 years.
Yeah.
The couch is the best thing moving. And I got a TV and snacks and shit. Bitch, I'm cool.
Yeah. 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 It's I mean, it is kind of messed up to see, you know, because these people have these expectations of their mate when they get out, which was fueled by their mate on what they're telling them while they were inside, right? And then they get out and they expect it to go according to plan, but that's not how life works sometimes, you know. So they get out, and these mates that they have are on some other stuff because of what you're saying. Like now they got freedom. Now they don't have to listen to nobody telling them what to do, telling them what to eat, all this type of stuff, you know. And excuse me.
They're gonna be cool with it, and they can be honest to God. They can be truthful about what they're saying.
They could have been truthful, and especially in the moment, you know.
Yeah,
like I don't think they're necessarily all lying about that. You know,
I don't think none of them is. The thing about it is, I'm outside.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? That's the whole thing. It's like they could be 100% truthful. Everything that they told you could be 100% legit.
Yeah.
What they didn't tell you is how they was gonna make it work on the timeline when they got free, and they can't tell you that because they don't know.
Right.
So yeah, I'm gonna do this for you, but you gotta allow me to be outside.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's the thing. Like I said, I'm not gonna downplay nobody for fucking with nobody in jail. But at the same time, I'm gonna say you gotta allow them people to be back outside.
Yeah. Yeah. So what do you think about because we have a couple of them. A couple of couples that are married, They got married in jail, and then they came out, or they're coming out. What do you think about those type of instances?
Those things are just, they're just outright weird to me, just because it's almost like niggas is doing that on some religious shit, but then they don't pay attention to that shit when they outside. Like, even white dudes, they, you know what I'm saying, they become Catholics and Christians and all this whole extra, and then, you know, they tell these women that, and then they get married when they're in jail, and blah blah blah. They do all this in jail. Yeah, you studying this belief or whatever, and then you get outside, and you getting outside to a woman that wasn't even studying that same belief, because she wasn't. If she was, she wouldn't even be around you in the first place. You know, I think a lot of those marriages or just be falsified for what, like you said, what a nigga be going through in jail. Like, he can have the best intentions. Like, I always think it's weird because you gotta allow people to realize what it is to be out there. I'm gonna keep saying it, and I'm gonna say it again until my fucking face turns red. It's like, you gotta let a nigga actually be free.
Yeah.
You can't go in that motherfucker and just be like, you can't do this, you can't do that. I expect you to do this. I expect you to do that. You putting rules on somebody that hated rules in the first place. That's why they was in jail. You gotta let that person be, and then they gotta be like, damn, they seeing all this shit, and then they chose to fuck with me. Oh man, that's the keeper. I gotta keep them for the long. You gotta allow them people to realize that, because they have to realize what a lot of people in jail don't realize is, even when you outside, it's so hard to find somebody that is actually 100% down for you. But they have to see that first, and they have to make those mistakes, and they have to do all that. They don't know. They thinking, I'm gonna get out here and I'm gonna get another bitch like that, or I'm gonna get another nigga like that. What they don't realize is the reason why this motherfucker was fucking with you is because everything out here is 1,000% worse.
Man.
Like, I'd rather settle with a nigga with a felony than the rest of these niggas that'll fuck around and make me a baby mama and leave me, or fuck around and give me something and leave me.
Yeah.
Like, man, y'all think that shit easy. I tell people all the time, man, like, man, you know, I'm so glad that, you know what I'm saying, to go home to somebody. Are you crazy?
Yeah, the shit is whack out here right now. Like, it's the table scraps. But Tully's watching. She says, "Hey, Lindsay and Lily. Hey, Ish Talkers. I'm still able to catch the live. Yes, you are. So yeah, but yeah, like the shit is whack out here. So I mean, I don't judge nobody for who they date or whatever, and I really don't fault nobody for being like, you know, well, let me look over here. You know, maybe I'll have better luck with a inmate. Like, because I get the ideology. It's just that maybe there's something deeper when you're a serial incarcerated person dater.
Yeah, at that point, it's a control issue.
Yeah.
And then why they wonder why that shit don't last
long. Right. So, yeah, that's that whole thing. But like, just some of these things is just like you cannot be serious. Like, you got to be fucking kidding me. Like, there's this one chick that's on there. Her dude's about to come out because they passed some type of law that is allowing immediate release for the type of offense he has, right? So he's about to come home. And she was on Love during Lockup before. And she met the guy, married him, been married for a couple years, but does not know him outside of prison, right? I think he's been in there for like 10. And she got 2 kids, and she's not paying attention to the signs because her oldest daughter is like 15 and she is completely not in the building for him coming home at all. At all. But what she also is an accountant, and she owns her own business, and she has employees and all this type of stuff. So when she was on Love during Lockup, she called a meeting and told her whole staff that her husband was coming home and he's going to be part of the business. And so they were going to be running it together. And I was like, wait a minute. Then she went and talked to a lawyer about it. And the lawyer was like, yeah, with his type of felon, he's not going to be able to do anything with that business. And it was just like, why would you think that would be appropriate? Like, you're an accountant. You own a tax prep company. You like, not only do they do tax prep, but they do like bookkeeping and all this type of stuff. Like, why would you think that a felon could be anywhere close to a type of business like this? It was just like, you got to do shit that makes sense, you know. But
that shit, listen, I don't really want to get into people's business, but I'll get into this business. That lady is certifiable. And the only reason why I say that is because, like I said, I haven't watched any of this. I was really on recaps. And the thing about that is I'm like, the thing that bothered me about anything else than what she was doing for this nigga or what she wasn't doing for this nigga is like both of them are takers. He has infiltrated her life to the fullest, and she's also infiltrated his life to the fullest where she can spend $15,000 out of his account for a fucking ring. And at the same time, he has infiltrated this life of hers so much that he has a 6-year-old calling him daddy that has never even met this nigga. She crying and shit. Shit is fucking wild. These taking ass niggas is gonna crash and burn. And if I was working for her, I would just be like, all right, I can't wait to see this fireball dumb shit you about to do. Because you got a kid that thinks she got a daddy come home. She don't even know her real daddy. You got a 15-year-old that like, yeah, this ain't popping. Yeah, you gotta know it is going to be a superior problem. Like, you might as well just let her move with her grandma or auntie or something, because that ain't gonna work.
Yeah,
that ain't gonna work.
I didn't think so either, because I'm just like, you got to read the room. Like, you so fixated on yourself that you're not even looking and seeing that this shit is about to be extremely uncomfortable for your 15-year-old.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Like I said, a lot of these motherfuckers are selfish and control freaks.
Yeah. Yeah. And then this other couple, which this will be the last couple we talk about before we move on, but this is the part that blew me. I was like, this has to be a lie. Like, this cannot be the truth. But this chick, she was married to her child's father. The child's father went to jail. He had a roommate. And what he would do is he would have her call people on three-way for his roommate. Then her and the roommate started messing around, and he was like, I don't feel comfortable with you being married still talking to me. So holla at me when you get a divorce. She gets a divorce. Then they start dating and they marry. And on top of that, her kid, her kid, she never put her kid's father on the birth certificate. So she allowed her new husband to adopt her son. All while she does not know this man outside of jail. I was like, this has to be a fucking lie. Because I didn't even know that people incarcerated can adopt kids. And then why would you want this man to adopt a kid? Like, was his father just not in his life, but he had to be because you was with him before he went to jail? Like, I was just like, none of this shit makes sense. This is stupid.
She was going to see the nigga while he was locked up.
Yeah.
She met this nigga while going to see a visit.
Yeah.
That bitch is. I mean, I said this before on this podcast, but I want y'all to hear this now. Pastor kids are some of the nastiest motherfucking kids alive.
You have said that before. Yeah.
It takes a piece of shit ass individual that will go see they fucking baby daddy in jail, but eyeball another nigga in jail. That is fucking diabolical.
And then this is the killer part about it. Out of all this shit that I have just said, the main thing that she's fixated on is how big his dick is.
Again, pastor kids are some out of everything in the world.
Right.
Not that he's in jail.
Right.
Not that he used to be my motherfucking baby daddy selling.
Right.
Not that I made him adopt my son. Not that my mother and father want to turn him into a pastor.
Right.
I ain't thinking about none of that. Not again. Right. The last not even I'm a Christian, but I go get my palms read. Even the tarot card said that he ain't in there for me. It's not me. This is not for you.
Right.
All of that. Nah. I just need to know if this dick big. This bitch is crazy. This is mad business right here. This is insane asylum business that this bitch is on.
We should have known something was wrong by the way that her hair was set up. Cause that hair was atrocious. That shit looked like a bird's nest on top of her head. But we should have known something was wrong. Something was off just by judging her hair. Because that bitch is off for real.
You know what? I seen the hair on the recap, so I was like, damn. She got that one little piece that you could put on, make her shit look top heavy up here. Shit, wow. I wouldn't even trip it off that. I like really look at people's faces. If I get a chance to, if I get a chance to, I really scope people's faces out. My thing was, you got these big ass fucking bumps right here, and you steadily want to cake it with makeup. You know you ain't never gonna get rid of that shit.
Yeah.
Like, you. That's one. And again, this is the opinion of me alone. Doesn't reflect the views of the issue we talk. You light-skinned women really got to stop thinking y'all need to put makeup on y'all face to maintain light skin. And we still see them fucking dark holes and craters in your shit. It sticks out like fucking cigarette burn sometimes because y'all don't take the time to actually wash y'all fucking face. Wash your fucking face. God damn, and let that shit rest for a couple of days. Y'all bitches kill me. All light-skinned girls think they pretty because they light-skinned. Newsflash, half of y'all are not.
Yeah. That's a rabbit hole we not going down today. But yeah.
I'm gonna say it as a man. Like half of y'all are not. Half of y'all take that bullshit on y'all face so much that y'all face can never recover.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and then y'all look like the Wicked Witch from the East, and then y'all be thinking like y'all still look good. No, y'all don't. Y'all took years off y'all life from not getting regular sun put on your fucking natural face.
Yeah. But but we should have known that this was about to be some bullshit by her appearance, I guess.
Exactly.
That was some straight bullshit.
Should have known it wasn't gonna be right.
Yeah. So Trick says she's big tricking. And he also says, I need a junior cougar to believe in me like she believes in him. A junior cougar. Wow.
I'm gonna tell you the truth, Trick Turner. It'll never happen for you. And that's not to downplay you like you're a bad person.
Damn.
You don't have the rap sheet to make a junior cougar do that. You ain't got to. You got to do some bad shit. You're not a bad individual.
You know. You got to go out. Got to go out here and catch a couple of felonies, I guess.
Yeah. And the only reason why I say that is because women like that in those ranges, they in their minds they still 16 and 17, so they still look for a bad boy. They not looking for nobody to take care of them. They've been taking care of themselves. They don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
They looking for somebody to still look like a bad boy. I be seeing that shit. Like now that I'm in my 40s, I be looking at women that are my age or a couple of years older, and then I see them fucking with certain types of dudes. And I've noticed certain women, they'll forever fuck with a street nigga. They can't fuck with nobody that ain't a street nigga because they just like that bad boy appeal, like they still young. They don't even be giving a fuck about how we gonna like survive these next 20 years. They just want him because they think like in the mix of all this, his old ass could still knock a nigga out. Truth of the matter is, niggas don't fight one-on-one no more. This old nigga about to get beat the fuck up.
Hell, niggas don't fight period no more.
Yeah. But y'all still on that. Some of y'all, not all of y'all, but y'all still be on that shit. So rare few of y'all be thinking about if we fuck with each other, how are we gonna economically make this work?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I will say that is one thing that people do look for, is protection. You know, if the killer come up in this motherfucker, like, are you gonna be hiding with me or are you gonna fight the killer? Like, that's what some people do look for in companion. You know.
Yeah, but the thing, the stereotype of when you go to jail, you tough, been busted a long time ago.
Right.
So
you can go to jail, do a bid, and they bust a grape. So
exactly, you fuck around and do a bid and be somebody bitch in there.
Yeah,
like that shit has been running prominent, especially in our community.
Mm-hmm.
These niggas be hoe ass bitches, you know what I'm saying, in the feds, and then come out and be still trying to act tough until they celly come out of jail.
Right.
And then you find out this nigga a whole bitch for real.
Yeah.
So like, y'all gotta stop that shit. Y'all just gotta look for what a man looks like. Like, but again, it's hard to do that because we come in a generation where either our daddies wouldn't shit or our daddies was playboys. It was only a certain amount of males that was actually like for the community. And it's no fault to the males back then because they were also put in a situation with food stamps and child support where they wouldn't even want it in the houses anymore. So I can't downplay it, but it just is what it is.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just, excuse me, it just is what it is. But yeah, this this season looks very interesting. It got me to come back and watch. So, cause I took off for a few months. I was like, I can't do this shit no more.
Yeah, I didn't. When you had me watch that shit after the nigga with the light skinned short nigga with the locks, and then that big ass bitch that always had her titties out. I was just like, I'm done with this. This is wild. This is weird. Like,
yeah,
I don't want to. I just don't want to see people's lives like that. I don't really want to pay attention to people like that.
Yeah.
But this shit, the reason why when you told me that shit, I was looking at it like, man, I don't want to give a fuck about that. But then a nigga had to have my motherfucking name.
Yep, he do. Yeah.
Not only this nigga have my name, you got this weird ass bitch talking about is your dick little or not. I'm like,
yeah.
what? I'm like, man, I don't even want to watch the show. I'm gonna continue to fuck with the recaps and just be like, because I don't want to. I don't, because I get mad. I'll look at the screen and be like, man, bitch, you gonna take whatever dick is in here? What the fuck are we talking about? Why are we talking?
I'm like,
what are we
so
doing
silly, right? Out of everything, this is what you fixated on. Like, then she had his ass do a yoni steam. I was like, huh? I thought yoni steams were for women.
I just don't know what's going on with this bitch. This bitch is crazy. This listen, y'all. This woman has never ever had sex with this man. Talked to this man over the phone. Had this man adopt her fucking kid and put a tattoo on her that is as big as her rib cage.
Now I ain't gonna hold you. That tattoo was right.
That tattoo was crazy. That
mug was nice. I would not have gotten nobody's name, let alone that damn big. But it was a nice tattoo. Whoever did the art did good.
That tattoo is weird business.
I'm like, did she even do her ex-husband? Like,
exactly.
Did she do her kid?
When you did all this to turn around and tell this same nigga, if your dick ain't as big as this tattoo, we're gonna have to get a penis enlargement. Like,
what? Right.
What? Man, you know what? I would have immediately blocked her off my fucking friends list right there.
I'm like, why is she so fixated on that? Like, you in the wrong place looking for a mate if that's what you fixated on.
Pastor daughter, like,
yeah,
your daddy's a bishop, and all you thinking about is dick. Like, not even. And that, like, when I say that, I want to be completely clear. Not even dick, like, because dick happens.
Right.
You fixated on porn star dick. You fixated on like novelty dick. You want
unrealistic.
Yeah, you want a stupid big dick. Like, what do you do to yourself?
And she ain't nothing but that big, so it's like, what do you do?
Like, what are you doing? And you ain't touched a man, but you want a certain type of dick? Oh, I immediately, if she would have told me that, I would have said immediately send me pictures of the toys you use. Because
seriously,
if you say my favorite toy looks like this, then we ain't fucking with each other. At this point, we done.
Yeah.
I'm not doing that. I'm not even about to play games with you like that. If you think I'm about to harpoon you like this fucking 15-inch dick is. You sorry.
It's so unrealistic. It's so unrealistic.
I'm sorry. I'm just not one of those. I'm not a lucky one. I'm sorry. If you want to say something like that. And I believe I'm working with it. Like, you know what I'm saying? But like, if you pull out something that I know I can't compete with, I'm not even about to play with you.
Right. So Tree says, she got a tattoo that says that you have to be this big to ride. She probably do right at the bottom of her stomach.
Right.
You know?
You got motherfuckers to be like, yeah, it has to be this big, like the size of a nigga forearm. And then you got women like her to be like, no, it has to be like here. It has to hit my shoulder. Like, where's your boundaries at? Where's your boundaries?
She's trying to have a hysterectomy.
Like, what's going on? Like, I'm trying to have a baby and kill a baby at the same time. Like, what?
Oh man,
I want you to nut that motherfucker, and then I want you to bust that egg wide open at the same time.
Okay, I'm trying to have these eggs scrambled. Over easy.
That is phenomenal business. Like this woman who was raised in a church. I tell you, I said this before. Hey man, these fucking pastor kids are wild. They wild as a bitch. Like, that's crazy.
Dude.
She like, yeah, when it's all said and done, I need it. I want to feel it in the back of my fucking head. Like, I want this penetration. Like, what?
Right.
Like, I would have told that bitch that ain't nothing but the devil work.
Okay, I'm gonna pray for you. You are on the permanent prayer list. Cause golly, they just don't nothing about that sound appealing. I'm sorry.
That shit sounds like for a man to even like agree and go through with that.
Right.
I just think, you know what I'm saying. It could be two ways. Either this nigga was like, you know, nah, I'm really gonna knock her at the park, so I'm gonna play that game with her. Or he really had a conversation with her, like I'm not built like everybody else type shit. And the only reason why I say that because I know niggas that do that shit, like real life. I know niggas that be on that shit, and I'll be like, bro, you ain't never supposed to say that shit out loud. Like, nah, I'm just keep it real. Like, my dick ain't
right. Somebody gonna like it.
Yeah, and
so
that's
like, how they looking at it. Yeah,
nigga, y'all are wow. Like, I just ain't never. I'm glad. Not on no extra. Like, not on me being on no extra shit. I'm just glad I ain't never had an inkling to be like, nah, my shit ain't. I ain't got no big dick. Like, you weird. I'm in my Kevin Samuels voice, like, you know if you got a big dick or not. So to say that out loud just proves you don't. Like, that's wild as fuck.
Right, like he kept it way too real with that shit. Cause I'm like, but that mean that was real. Like you know what you got.
Yeah, it's like either he was like, yeah, I'm gonna be quiet, you know, not say nothing. Cause I would do that same shit. Like, man, okay, whatever. Penis enlargement, my ass. Like,
I'm just not having no conversation with nobody about their anatomy, because it ain't like it's something that you go to the store and you pick up off the wall. Like, I mean, you born with it or you're not.
For her, it is. For her, it's like, you know, no, listen.
Like, we can fix this. That's what she's like. We can fix this.
She go to what's that shit? What's that one store? Hot Topic or some shit?
Nah, you talking about Cirillas?
Nah. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's like some little golf store, but it got like
like Spencer's.
Yeah. I was about to say it got like shit in the bag.
Yeah.
Yeah, she one of them. She like, nah, no. According to what I know, I can just go to the
Right.
mall and get the dick I want.
Right. Right. Or so she can go downstairs at 7 Heaven.
Yeah.
Call it a day.
She
Yeah.
said nigga, straight up. Like I'm like, I'm just one of them, like, I don't understand why they didn't push that more. Like, you gonna push out, he can't have a little dick. I'm like, I'm as a nigga, I'm in here like, well, what do you think a little dick is?
Yeah. Right. That's what I'm saying. Like, she's not that big of a girl, so it's like, what do you consider little? And what kind of bad experiences have you had to where this is such a big issue?
Yeah,
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't get it. I just know it's like now I've been in situations with certain women where they be like, some of these I can't sugarcoat it no other way because I be trying to try not to pause myself in anything that I say. But some of these niggas' dicks just be little. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, it just is what it is. Like that whole myth about niggas, man. Some of these niggas' dicks be little.
Yeah.
I just don't be understanding. Like, I just don't understand it because I just be like, damn, if you never had another dick, then that dick is gonna be big to you, even though it ain't. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, like, I just be really like, I'll be like, damn, like some of these niggas just need to look. They need to stay in the church, man. They need to stay in the church.
Oh man.
I was born in the world. Like I was a heathen. I was born a heathen. That's actually in the Bible. Like I was born a heathen. I was born outside of that shit.
Right.
Shit. You can't fuck with these heathens. You can't be out here with these heathens, my nigga.
Oh. It will never turn out good.
Yeah, it ain't. It's just always gonna be one of them. It's gonna be a bad deal. It's gonna be a real bad deal. I know women that act like they faithful on Facebook, super faithful. Love to put their husbands out there on all their social media, and then on the sneak they be fucking a nigga I didn't grew up with for
Yeah.
real.
Yeah, it's funny how that works.
Yeah.
It's real funny how that works because I feel like we know a lot of people that in various ways front like the shit is all good, but in real life the shit is trash.
Mm-hmm.
But in the same breath, you ain't supposed to put all your shit out there anyway. So
yeah, ain't gonna ain't I'll be the last one to try to play y'all like that. But I do know, some of y'all men and women, boy, y'all spouses think y'all the greatest, and y'all are still fucking that bitch from the 8th grade, or fucking that nigga from the fucking that nigga from high school, like on the sneak for real. Like, because y'all just ain't it ain't. They settled down and they was smart and they did what they were supposed to do and they have kids and kids ain't gonna be embarrassed. They doing their thing, but at the end of the day, you are not it sexually. Not it. Not for them. I ain't saying you can't be for everybody.
Right, because you can be awesome for somebody else. Just not for them.
Not for them. I know. I actually know a chick that she saved herself till marriage. So she don't know nothing else. So whatever they do, I'm pretty sure she's satisfied with.
Yeah.
But she don't know nothing else. And I'm pretty sure they, in their relationship, they probably then got to where they know they can enjoy each other.
Yeah.
And what I'm saying she never had another person that, she could be like, well, this sex was better.
Yeah. Sometimes that's a good thing. When you get the comparing and shit, then depending on how far you go with the comparisons,
Yeah.
on if shit goes left in your relationship, you know.
Yeah.
Trick says those assembly plant workers are the worst cheaters. That's what I heard.
I've heard that as well. I've
Yeah.
heard them Ford workers are just hoes.
Oh, I heard that Ford was the worst. I heard Ford was the worst, and I know. I think everybody in the town know a few people that work at Ford.
Yeah, I know a gang of them.
Yeah. So yeah.
You know, that's the thing. But you know, again, it's just you gotta, you know what I'm saying, know what you're doing. Like, you know, sometimes it is like we said earlier. Sometimes it is better to just have one, because when you get to comparing, I told y'all niggas in a previous podcast, everybody that's been fucking and used to fucking, I'm gonna break the bad news to you again. You're not gonna marry the person that you had the best sex with.
Because y'all don't get along.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So you might as well just chop that shit up. You know, that's why marriage is it's really more spiritual than it is anything else.
Yeah.
You know, y'all gotta combine yourself and really move in accordance to God. Like, they ain't worried about no man-made, how, you know what I'm saying, how this motherfucker make your body quiver. Nah, y'all gotta match spiritually. You know, that's the key to it. But a lot of y'all fuck up because y'all still be going back to the nigga that, you know what I'm saying, made your body feel a certain way. So you can never line with a nigga to make you feel spiritually. And that's men and women. I see a lot of men, I see a lot of women do that.
Yeah. Yeah, they do. They do. But yeah. So that was Love After Lockup.
Right.
So yeah, so I don't have any final thoughts. So Jerry's final thoughts. Take it away.
I don't have any Jerry's final thoughts this evening. It's been a while since we have spoken to y'all, and so I'm glad that the people that are here are here. Only thing I will always say is I'm always grateful for y'all, and I hope that you guys enjoy everything that we put out. If we do anything that offends or makes y'all feel upset about certain things, feel free to tell us. Because at the same time, when you do that, I'm going to be free to tell y'all that I don't give a motherfucker. I'm going to say how I feel. Lindsay's going to say how she feels. And, you know, if you get offended, I mean, that's your choice. If you don't get offended, I fucks with you. And that's it. And that's all. And as always, take care of yourself and others.
Yes. And Trick also has a final thought. He says, I'll take a cooperative, good cooking woman over a super freak. Final thought. Well, that's what's up. You're looking for something.
I would do that too. I would do that too. Unless I didn't get some type of pussy. You got to give me some type of pussy. Don't be. I see niggas in relationships and motherfuckers be like, again, and they be like, bitch, it's been 2 months. What do you mean again? Like, I don't want that. You got to do some shit.
Yeah. Right.
You gotta want to be. Yeah, you got to be willing to. Like, when you look at me, you got to be looking at me like I could fuck this nigga, because that's how I'm looking at you at all times.
Yeah.
It's got to be mutual. I ain't saying we ain't gotta be nasty. We ain't, and when I say nasty, I'll take that a lot back. We ain't gotta be like, when we were young and try to fuck every day, but when we get them opportunities, we need to be putting it in.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like we should table that for another day so we can talk in depth.
That's true.
Yeah. So Trick says, final thought. If you're offended, fuck you. LOL.
Exactly. I don't give a fuck. Be offended. It is what it is, man. I don't read comments. Like, Lindsay tell me like, hey, you need to look at this. Like, I don't read comments, so I'm always gonna just be me.
You're right. Just gonna leave it all on the floor.
Man.
So this was episode 128 of the Ish We Talk, and we will see you guys for episode 129. Bye.
Exactly.